Welcome to the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3 World Finals for East, and we are about to see some of the best PUBG Mobile action from 16 teams from around the world, and I cannot wait to jump into these games. We're in a virtual city, but the competition is very real, and we are going to bring all the heat. I'm not alone in telling this story, so to join me, why don't I bring on my friend Maxman? Maxman, welcome to our virtual studio. We're getting into this action. 16 teams. Tell me, what do they expect from today? What is the format?
Well, already the format, of course, as you know, Sam, is going to be an extremely short run of events. Is 1 day, 6 games. You have 1 shot and 1 shot only. And after this, you are done. So, of course, we're looking for the teams that are going to come in hot, secure those big old chicken dinners, or remain consistently in the top 5 or top 3. So it's going to be really intense and extreme. And also, we've got to keep in mind, we're going to have a few little changes to the point system compared to the official circuit. So we're going to have a few very interesting turn of events for this entire tournament.
You know what, Max? I feel a little bit lonely here, so I'm thinking we bring in a friend of yours. How about Imperium joins us? Look at this. The dream team is back together. Imperium and Maxman are going to be casting all the action, and I'm going to be picking their brains in between the games to find out a little bit more. Imperium, let's talk about these 16 teams now. Which ones are you keeping your eyes on?
Of course, I'm always a kind of guy to keep my eyes open for all the teams, but when you're looking for specifics, when you're looking for particulars, it's going to have to be the Indonesian teams at most, because they're coming from a region that is very highly competitive in itself, Sam, but also Boom, they're playing in the PMPL 2021, and they've been playing in the PMPL since Season 1, so they are a team that have a lot of experience. So can the other teams around them match their aggressiveness, match their experience, and come out on top?
How did the teams get each other? Because we've got these 16 teams. What did they have to do to make it to the World Finals?
So obviously they had to. Okay, my apologies, Max. I didn't mean to. Speak over you.
Man, it's been so long. I'm sharp. I want to talk with you, Imperium. It's cool. It's cool.
I miss you, man. I miss you. But yeah. So obviously they played through the respective regional finals, where they went up against many other hundreds of teams from their own countries. They qualified. They made it through, and they booked their spot in the finals. It's been a long journey, but now they're here. They've got to make it count.
They do have to make it count, and to do that, they're going to have to get points on the board. So, Max, you spoke a little bit about how this point system is going to work. We'll get to see a breakdown of that as well. Tell me, how does that change your game plan coming into this with this specific point system in play?
Well, for a lot of these teams, they just came out very hot of their PMCOs, and usually in the official circuit, 1 chicken dinner is worth 15 points. Here, second position is 14 points, just 1 point difference compared to the usual official circuit, but for that chicken dinner position. And now that 1 chicken dinner is going to be worth 20 points. So, of course, teams here might tend to play a little bit away from their usual play style in the official circuits, PMCOs, PMPLs, and all that good stuff. They might tend to play a lot more passive, play a lot more around positions, aim for the late game. And if they do so, because of how many points you can get from purely getting in top 3, kills are not going to have as much of an impact. But we do know that in this lobby, you've got some highly aggressive team. Imperium just talked about the Indonesian teams that like to play aggressive if possible. So if you're one of these top fragging teams, you get 10, 15 kills every game, you can make up for this little bit of a point change coming into this M.E.O.
So you've broken it down there. You mentioned that the teams might be a little bit more passive so that they can get those final placement points. But Imperium, it is also only 6 maps, 1 day. You don't have a lot of time to get points on the board. Do you think we'll see that change if, say, for example, a team plays passive for the first 2 maps and then realizes it's not working? Or do you think everyone's going to pretty much aim for the end game?
I do think there's a huge amount of adaptability that's going to be played through for these teams, especially in the Erangel map, because we do have 3 Erangel games, right? So, you know, the first Erangel game, you play passive, you might struggle to get a strong result. That next Erangel game, you play a little bit more aggressively, a bit more controllingly, that more positive result will shine through. But there's going to be this healthy balance of what Max mentioned about with the point system, it's going to drive a more passive play style, playing for the late game. However, because a lot of these teams haven't really played against each other, barred a few practice games, they might not have done all the research on all of the teams. You're going to see also a healthy mix of natural clashing throughout rotations, drop spots, everything. So I think it's going to be a real nice mixed bag of tricks.
Obviously, the players competed in their regional finals because they wanted to go to Istanbul to battle it out. And because of the pandemic, we weren't able to do that. But the Red Bull team has created this incredible virtual studio, and we're going to go there right now. So you get to take a look at how amazing this is. If you head on over to the Red Bull website, you'll be able to tour through Istanbul. There's some iconic locations that you can visit, some games you can play, some incredible drops that you can win. And of course, the most important part, you get to watch the best esports players in the world battle it out. How incredible is the studio, Imperium? Look at our Turkish team over there. They're chatting about the same thing we are in a different language, but isn't this just amazing?
It is, first of all, just what they've been able to do with the technology and all the hard work that's gone on behind the scenes is amazing. It also makes me miss studios and miss kind of LAN event experiences. But at the end of the day, for the fact that I'm at home and I'm able to see this, and the players are, and the viewers are able to see this from their home, it's absolutely amazing. Plus what you mentioned with the virtual tour of Istanbul, it's so beautiful. Fully recommend everybody checks out in between games, of course.
So you've heard it from the experts here. They've given you some insight into what to expect. These 16 teams now, they are going to have to drop into this game and do their best because it is all on the line. You want to be named the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3 World Finals PUBG Mobile Champions for the East region. And I cannot wait to see this action unfold. Some new regions, some new names, and hopefully by the end of this, some new superstars. I think it's time, Imperium. Max, you've got the golden voices. Take us into the game and let us know what we're looking at.
Thank you very much, Sam. Man, the golden voices, man. Okay, Sam, best host. There you go. I'm saying it right now. I'm feeling good about ourselves, Imperium. But man, it's been a while since we casted together since PUBG Mobile. Goes back. Yeah, it's been 84 years, as you might even say. But we're ready to jump finally in our very first game here of the third finals here from the M.E.O. It's going to be for the Eastern region overall, and we're going to see exactly what we're going to be dealing with. But man, we talked about all these top teams. I'm really hyped to see who's going to be coming out on top on this first game. Is going to be Erangel. We got 3 Erangels coming your way onto this one. Especially look at that studio, man. I feel like in an episode of a Sword Art Online. You know, I'm in the game. I'm inside of it. I'm in the Matrix. This is really cool to see.
Did you make an anime reference?
Yes, I know. Don't get them, Imperium. It's cool. You don't. You're Boomer. I'm the Zoomer. It's okay.
I just wanted to make sure that like we're less than a minute into. Well, we're not even into the game, and you've already made an anime reference. This is why I love you, man. This is why I miss casting with you, my friend. It's an absolute joy. Plus the fact that this is a massive opportunity for a lot of these teams to get eyes on them, right? A lot of big opportunity for the players to get eyes to impress a lot of fellow players around them. So this is absolutely massive. With the phase one, with the playing pass, should I say, a bit to the west, it's not going to be the worst, but it's certainly not going to be the best.
I fully agree. I think that especially coming into this one, when we were doing the PMCO for the African region with James Banks, it was a lot of fun. And KHK initially were brought up as this big super team that, yes, they can dominate and fight versus the best teams in the region, such as Slime 4KT, Team INF. But unfortunately, KHK did fall a little bit short and did disappoint quite a few. Though, talked about INF Imperium, they brought a new player in the roster, which is Hansley, which was one of the insanely talented players from Team INF. So you know what? Hey, I don't want to deal with this team anymore. We're just going to take one of their players. And now you add him to the roster, and we're going to have one of the top fraggers of the entire PMCO African region on our side. So I think that KHK, you know what, that's overall going to be a great addition to the team. And as you talk about it, the spectators show us Ansley. They're going to be going for Northern George Bowl, uncontested completely. And as we did expect, Imperium, checking out, we still got 64 players. So which tends to me to see that we're not going to be having any hot drops whatsoever. So as we predicted, this is going to be a very laid back early game.
By the edge of circle, getting information, go little by little, Max, right? To what they can do. And they're extremely proud to be representing their country in this tournament, in these finals.
Oh, there you go, Rise on Glory. They're going to be popping into the kill feed. Might be seeing a first team elimination into this one. Morph also seem like their gatekeeping is going to be working towards the side of the Western Bridge. So we're going to be seeing some action currently unfolding on the lobby. As still only 4 players shall fall down. Boom made their way already up to the northern side of military base, which I do enjoy. The amount of scouting that that position can grant you is actually pretty astonishing if you use the information correctly, of course. That's what we're going to be expecting from Boom. Things are just going to start to get a little bit more... a little tighter as we go on through. LND also going to be losing one of their players. So it seems like teams are slowly going to be tightening up against each other. And the thing is also is that when you are on this military base island Imperium, you're going to be having very little amount of compounds to actually play around. So if you are a team that's already holding on to it and you're getting contested, some fights will ensue. As actually happening over here, we're going to be having a fight currently ensuing. It's going to be Max, LND Legends looking to frag it out. Ready up to 1 kill. Looking for potentially a bunch more. They did lose Jay along the way, but there you go. That's going to be a wipeout of this compound at least, but they're still in the blue. They need to get on the move right now.
Also, while the squad got wiped out, they are out of here, unfortunately. And then we do see STP taking shots on towards SWAT 69. They're now going to play around on that southwestern edge of this phase 3 circle as the blue zone is starting to close in. Again, threading with a bit of caution, using the little bits of cover that they have on towards this grassy area is so important for STP Max, because they know the further they move in onto the edge of the circle, you know, the much easier chance they're going to get caught out, especially when you have the airplanes, the wall side in play. You just don't exactly know who is going to be there as phase 3 centers up. Indeed, it's going to be a military base finish specifically around those around the airplanes and the bunker areas, which is always so hard to control.
So I'm really intrigued to see how they're going to play around this one, as now we're going to be moving. SWAT 69, let's not forget, they moved on forward by swimming through the river up on the northwestern edge. They made it out as a 2-man team. I'm not going to say that's too bad. You know what? Noni could have got gate kept by the likes of Morph. That is going to be okay, though. Coot popping off once again. And man, Coot with their Kar 98 shots. I see them pop a few times into the kill feed. Seem like they're doing good. And he's going to go instantly for the confirm. STP losing himself black, so that's going to be one of their players down the drain instantly. And now we're going to start to get into the big boy action very soon. Sanji, oh, I'm seeing Sanji with an M249 now. That's going to be causing some big issues for the teams around, as Bluebees tried to crash their way towards this crash site down south, and seem like they're going to be contested pretty heavily. Ato-chan and Zero going to be taken down, and Ato-chan, he's the IGL BTW. He's going to be gone. But now you say, IGL, when he's dead, that's where he does his job best, so he can still talk to the team.
Yeah, that's true. And Bluebees are a team with a lot of experience. They're also a very aggressive team, right? You saw them in the PMGC. They are not afraid to put up a fight. They're not afraid to lose a couple of players at the benefit of winning that squad wipe, going for that area in the circle where they're going to be taking shots, but possibly losing a player too. So I'm really excited to be seeing what Bluebees can do in this game. I will say that, you know, good few of the teams are down to 1-2 players. So, you know, from that point of view, we've lost 12 players, but indeed still 16 teams flying on through. Morph, Rubik's, STB. Wow, look at this. What is going on? 4 teams around this one area. RXN, Pakistan, you have DPME, you have Boom. Man, this is not going to be easy. And I thought, what a squad we're out of here, but they're still in the game.
We've seen the Blue Zone claiming some lives, and there you go. That's going to be Rise on Glory, unfortunately, taken out initially. That's going to be a big L. Seemed like that Blue Zone was a little bit too dominant for them to deal with. As Rubik also going to have to move their way forward. They still got 1 minute and 15 seconds, so the time is not really pressing them. But their main focus here is to get rid of KHK Esports, the South African team, PMCO. A little bit disappointed by their performance. Let's see if with the hands of Hansley in their team, they can actually make matters just a little bit better for them. This is going to be their redemption arc coming into the M.E.O. Though Morph also on the move. They got to move where in this circle. Hardly shifted up northeast. This is huge for Morph. They were already basically on that position.
Yeah, and then they're using these water/oil towers just as a bit of cover and spreading themselves in. Sent a couple of players through to begin with as RXN respect the IGL with the DP28 takes his shots off. That's what I was hoping we would see. However, one of their players gets knocked out. Unfortunately, Samurai goes down.
It seemed like Kuda just going to be trying to roll over with the enemy team, making it into They're a little bit of a nice spot under that mountain, so they're going to be in a good position all around. Seem like they're still going to be contested away by RXN. They don't want to give that spot away for free, but they don't care. They're going to be taking it. Coot having a few players knocked away, but in the long run, they're still going to be looking amazingly strong in this position. They're not going to have to move too much, but this is a very flat terrain. We were expecting this circle to end with a lot of buildings. It was going to get very close quarter. This is a very open-ended finish compared to what we were maybe initially expecting Imperium.
For sure, and I did say it was going to kind of play around those inside, I don't even know what you call them, but the tiny little tunnels, and that's where
Caverns,
RXN
back cave.
Yes. Caverns, there you go, the back caves. That's where I really liked the 3-1 split that RXN Pakistan had, because even though they lost one of their players, B Samurai, still having 3 players inside one of those back caves is incredibly valuable. That's already in the center circle. Look at all the teams around the edge.
I just love how Boom have rotated on this one. It was so clean. They were up north and they just shifted right away, trying to be as proactive as possible. But man, this circle, this circle is not fun. This is horrible. I said it was evil and I wanted a bad circle for these teams. This is maybe a little bit too evil. You went from a normal circle finish that could have been pretty fun for a lot of these teams until a position when you got 1 point of interest, and that is going to be the cavern that's held dead center as of right now. So this is going to be a little bit dicey for sure. Boom, they need to be onto the move. I want to see them to be as proactive as they were earlier. But man, just a few minutes ago, we were 16 teams, and now, boom, down the middle, 7 teams. What happened? This is decimation happening in the lobby.
It was, it was the breaking point in the damn max, right? You're always going to get to that mark. But now, boom, they're going to look to play around Coot, right? Using the high ground hills. They need to be careful that they don't overextend. Great smokes being thrown at by RXN. Pakistan are going to blow up that vehicle. They recognize that, okay, they need to somewhat stay where they are. They're not going to be able to move out. Just move a little bit shy into the western edge of the circle as the next phase did shift over to the east, while Morph trying to survive on top of the back cave.
The issue with being on this position is that all teams on the outskirts of this circle will be able to spot you out. So it's really, really hard to not only hold that position, but also get the reses off, which is what they're trying to do. They got Buggy in a relatively good position. So they're going to give it their best attempt to get the res coming on through. T4, there you go. They're going to finally get himself into the cars, make their way through. But B2R from Cupid is still there, and he's going to go for the backstab potentially. They're not going to be spotting it out just yet. Nothing happens to the kill feed, so it seemed like they were able to make it out unscathed for the time being. But there you go. BTR found himself a nice kill with the AKM. The spray from that from Morph. They're taking full control of this little hilltop position, but they're finally going to get engulfed into the blue, so they have to leave this position. And that, because of that little bit of a late call from them, they're going to be losing 2 of their players, potentially even 3, as they go the blue zone, just being a little bit too dominant onto Morph, and they're going to be down to 1. Hopefully can get the res and get back as a 2-man crew.
Yeah, but RXN Pakistan, who were putting the pressure onto them, are facing their own pressure. B2R surviving up and towards the bitter end. They currently have 5 kills. We're down to our 5 teams. 12 players left standing. Coot still have 3 players up, but they're outside the circle. And Knock shines through. Pixie gets the pixels in place for those bullets to secure that knock.
They're feeling real Gucci about this one. Look at those engages. I love it. But this seems like this circle is definitely going to be even worse than what I was initially expecting. It's going downhill. Morph, as we said, Zabarol, there you go. He's going to get picked up. Down to only now 2 cool. He's going to be contesting it. Let's just respect. 1 player of RXN. Going to have to peel away from this position. But I love how we're seeing this team, Gucci, just keep on pushing forward so efficiently every single time and taking full ownership of this position. They've got to be careful. We still got Zubair into the back end for Only Titans, and he could be the nail in the coffin for the entirety of this side of Cupid. But they got to keep on pushing forward. But Cow has been so good with the Con 98, already up to, did I just see 11 kills? Damn, this is a pop-up performance for sure. He sees the fit, trying to make dance for me, boy, dance for me, as they're going to go for their big push. But Cupid's not doing anything to stop this push from happening.
Yeah, BTR definitely going to be waiting it out. They're being a little bit too passive. And Morph tried to go for the last desperation rotation. But Morph, they are defeated. They are out of there. And we are down to our final 3 teams, Max.
I'm loving how this one is unfolding. Already really good stuff. They're going to be getting themselves 5 kills off to a really, really good engage. BTR did get so knocked away. So down to 2. Nice. They're going to give it their best shot. There you go. They find himself 1. Good response. The nades will come on through onto the side. Ninja doing some huge work for Coot. But they're going to be down to 1. It's going to be Break. He's been popping off from start to finish this game. Is he going to be the one? Is he going to be the thorn into the side and maybe take himself that 1v1, as you say, Imperium? That'll be insane. The reses might be able to come on through from B2R just in time. Going to be taking a little bit slow. Maybe what he's going to go for. You need to make a decision now. Do you commit or do you go for the res on your teammates? Ninja and also Fidan are easily in a spot to get resed up. But you got to take that decision now. And he's unsure. And unfortunately, in these positions, Imperium, indecision is your biggest foe.
You're wasting time. You're being too indecisive. You either go for the revive or you go for the push. It's now going to be just Cupid left on his own. Can he fire the final arrow into the heart of Coot and claim the chicken dinner for B2R?
Jump shot. If you want to win some extra style points, you got to do it, my boy. But yeah, you could have already got the entire team rezzed up if you did that cool little bit earlier break. He's taken too long. But even unfortunately, Cupid, he's like, has he got time to res? Like, he's expecting it, but he does not know that he was a little bit too slow. So unfortunately, this might hinder his chances of taking and snatching away this chicken dinner. Still 5 kills is still a really, really good performance. Was the extra 14 points to a second position can grant to you, but that is not going to be enough for a 6-game event. Break's going to spot it out. The jump shot, extra style points. Give it to me. Come on, let's go. He jumps on down, unfortunately, to his doom. And that is going to be one insane game number 1 Imperium. I do have to say, but Coot will be your champions for this first game of the M.E.O East region.
16 kills with that chicken dinner. If you're looking to send a message, that's the way you send that message. What a massive result from Coot. They caught people out early on. They got into those dominating results. But the massive thing about that is that they controlled these areas. They allowed other teams to get pushed back, and they made up for it.
I want to just jump right back to the start of the game. Max, you mentioned it in the cast, but 20 minutes in, all 16 teams still running along the map. You said it yourself. I mean, did you expect it to be this passive right at the start?
No, clearly not. I was expecting it maybe 1-2 teams would die, towards phase 2, phase 3. But 20 minutes in and we still had 16 teams. Sure, a lot of those teams were down to a 1-man team, a 2-man team, which they still suffered some casualties in some way, shape, or form. But they were especially trying to aim for those positioning points, which are going to be the most valuable amount of points you could get throughout the entirety of today for these 6 games. And it really shows that teams, even with a circle this hard, this is not an easy circle by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, you mentioned the passiveness, but Imperium, like with Coot specifically, despite that they were waiting for the end, they still took the picks when they came about. And I think that you saw that with their kill scores, which is going to help them massively on the scoreboard.
Like, they technically didn't need the chicken dinner. Let's be fair. They technically didn't need it, but they'll take it, of course. They'll take it all day long. Those 16 kills was just... I'm genuinely blown away by how strong they were with those kills. 6 for break alone. Yeah, Hidan with over 1,000 damage. Over 1,000 damage in one game. Like, that is... insane. So it shows that it was a team effort as well, Sam. That teamwork, the synergy, the aggression, the control, it all came together for Coot in game 1. But can they follow it, right? Can they continue it in game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
We mentioned him a little bit earlier, but here he is again, your MVP. Were there any teams, Max, that you saw that you thought played that circle well, other than obviously Coot, who got the chicken dinner?
I think, of course, Coot is going to be the team that we're going to have to look out for. I think the reason why Coot dominated in that game especially is because their aggressiveness allowed them to just zone all the teams away. Once again, Imperium said it, 16 kills. That's absolutely nuts. But I think the Boom Esports, we saw it also in the top stats. They were the top traveling teams. I think that their scouting and the conversion of that information from the scouting into rotational purposes, I think was extremely well executed. So I think that Boom, if they get a little bit of a, as I said, less evil circle, I think that they could be a team able to convert that information into a potential game later on today.
We'll keep our eyes on Boom. Imperium, I wanted to talk about Morph on the back cave. How should they have played that? Was it a good position for them? What do you think?
Honestly, I think it was desperate times, desperate measures. One of those things that can happen. I don't think they played it really. I don't think they could have played it much better, because they knew when you get to that point in the game, there's going to be multiple teams around you, and going on top of the back cave, there's still a couple of ridges around it. There's a couple of jagged rocks where they were going to be able to at least try to survive. Their rotations up until that point, in my eyes, were incredibly solid. But other than that, I don't think they played this game I don't think they could have played this game any better.
I'm going to move away quickly from Morph because we've got the kill damage scores on your screen right now. Max, when you take a look at that, there's a mental game that comes into play with these teams as well. They're all competing, but mentally, when you see what Coots has just done, do you think some of them are going to jump onto, when we drop onto Sandhawk, maybe a little bit of nerves now? Because that is a huge jump in comparison to the other teams.
So my tip to the teams would be, see where Coot dropped, don't drop there. I think that goes without saying. That team frags out so strong. And even in the early stage, Imperium's nodding. He's like, hey, he's agreeing right there. And I think that everyone should try their best to avoid that team, as they tend to be a very relatively aggressive one. Scouting especially is one thing that I think a few teams were lacking. And it can definitely turn the tides in your favor if you execute upon it properly.
Okay, it's time. We're going to Sandhawk. Let's see if that heal strat comes into play, Imperium. I'm excited about this one. Hate it as a player. Love to watch it. So let's go. Sandhawk, tell me what we're looking at.
Finally, we're going to be jumping into our second game here for the eastern regions of the M.E.O. And the playing path, I just said, not too interesting, but that's okay. And we're going to see. You said 3 teams in boot camp. I said 2. And seemed like we might just be both extremely wrong, Imperium, as I can only see the side of Morph. Big F in the chat.
Oh, not to be too disappointed, but it is what it is. And I know for a fact that one of the Pakistan teams did do their research and would have liked to have gone to boot camp, but recognize that a team normally goes there, so they've opted to go for a different draw spot. Even in Paradise Resort, which is also a bit of a popular for teams to drop, we've only seen ROG, Rise on Glory, drop inside this area. So, you know, not too many hot drops, although, as I say, the STP do have Blue Bees a little bit closer to them, or at least one of the Blue Bees players.
So we're going to have a little bit of a point of contestment here. Unfortunately, Suxer OCO is going to be in a relatively bad spot. Black going to be looking to push it. Maybe you want to wait for the rest of your team to follow up onto this one, but they're going to surround him. And oh man, OCO, I feel bad for you, my dude. If you take the squad wipe 1v4, well, that'll be huge, but they're taking 2 fights at the same time. There you go. OCO knocked away with the Uzi. That's going to be an instant flush for STP. They're feeling good. First kill of this game. They're stretching himself extremely thinly here. Blue Bees going to be taking 2 fights at the same time. Not the best way to start your Sandhawk adventures, I would say.
No, it's not the best way to start off your Sandhawk adventures, and that's where split dropping can be also a little bit hard to deal with, as SWAT 69 getting another knock on the 0, and seems like Blue Bees are definitely not having a good start to this game. Again, split dropping in Sandhawk is both challenging and very risky.
Ooh.
However, is that a DBS that we're seeing from
It is Maboko.
Maboko? Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like it. Unfortunately, the Summit is usually a very uncontested drop location. The lack of information that we mentioned many times during this broadcast is coming into play heavily here. They have no idea. They were unprepared. Unfortunately, you're going to have to make up with the loot that you got. He's got M16 and also a DBS. This is not going to be the best loadout. Ato-chan can find himself one onto Powerful. A little bit of a back and forth trade-off. Sanji finds Ato-chan also. That's the IGL down. Going to keep on directing his team forward into this fight. 0. Maboko going to give it their best shot. The hit does not connect for Maboko. He's going to get backstabbed. And there you go. The Blue Bees. I hyped them up, but they fall on early. And the caster curse continues. Maxman will stop talking about Blue Bees. I am so sorry.
Oh, man. I only experienced the Maxman curse as a viewer. Now I'm experiencing it as a co-caster, as a fellow talent on this event. And I'm not going to lie. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. I can't do anything about it. I'm trying within my inner powers, guys, to challenge Maxman Curse, but it isn't happening. I'll keep on trying as a side of Titans are looking for the side of WAS. What a squad. And a couple of shots are being fired on through. What a squad. They're definitely separated. They're split up a little bit. But it seems like, again, they're confident about holding on to that 2-2 split. They're confident about being spread out on this Sandhawk map, and I'm really liking that confidence.
The thing is, unfortunately, I've seen a few players here from What a Squad. They are pinned between this mountain position and also the quarry position. And if you want to move through quarry, you're making odds very, very hard to deal with. So I think that they kind of put themselves in a really sticky spot that they are going to struggle heavily to peel away from.
Fun fact, by the way, Max, Alpha from the side of Only Titans, he actually played for GOP in the PMCO 2019 Spring Split. So we've casted him before, and it's awesome to cast him again. However, Zubar goes down early on. Can they at least return fire? They will get that revive onto his teammates. So this is where Only Titans need to stay confident. They need to also not spread out too much, but they also can't be too passive, right? They can't be afraid to take those shots in return because they need to send a bit of a counter message over into the side of What a Squad.
Great position for Model Squad, by the way. They turn the tides heavily in their favor.
So
They got
true.
themselves a 3-man push. They're just going to be they were in the bad spot initially, and now they just turn the tides. And now they're going to be at a bad spot. Hellboy, there you go with the vector powers. You love to say Imperium going to go for the jump shot. 1v2, a little bit too much. Fighting down more than you can actually chew. And that's going to be great for Only Titans and seem like the rest of What the Squad. They want to try and get them back for what they just did to their teammates. Redbull down. They're going to keep on pushing down. Even though I would not recommend to push down and follow inside of Quarry, hold on to the high ground position and shoot them from that spot. If you follow inside, you're going to be falling in a trap. So I would say just leave it there, take the shots from above, and just remain in a strong spot.
It will come to a point in the game where they're going to have to start making noise, though, Max. In my eyes, they're going to have to start, you know, really sending, I wouldn't even say a message, but just, you know, dictating the traffic is the best way to put it. You don't necessarily need to get a kill to dictate the pace of traffic, but by taking a couple of shots off, you are pushing the teams that are maybe a little bit more passive around you into the direction of other teams, and that will allow Boom to maybe have a bit more controlling position in the next circles. And just like that, they pick up a kill. Perfect by Boom. Perfect.
There you go, just a few little bit of pressure onto SD. Looking for maybe just a bit more. I think that especially here, Jimmy, I want to try and move back with your teammates. Maybe not the best position to contest. And especially because of how Boom are positioned, right away, they're going to get that information. They know the team is pushing up there. If they want to regroup as a full squad to take full control of that southern side of the mountain, they could definitely do so. So I think that here, how Boom are set up is exactly how you want to play this position. You see the teams in the biggest PUBG MOBILE events play that way. But the Vesper makes it away. A few nice shots connect. A bit of damage through from Pombit. They're going to be just able to bump his damage ratio just a bit. At the end, there you go. That's exactly how you control that position. I have nothing to say about Boom. They're playing that one flawlessly.
And you asked about Morph Esports earlier on. That early rotation across the way, put them in the core position of phase 2. I do wonder if they know that RXN Pakistan are around them. I love the fact that RXN Pakistan have a 2-2 split. 2 on the high ground on the edge of the Chungus Hill, and 2 inside that compound that's by the coastal line. Like, that is super confident from RXN Pakistan.
Okay, I'm a little bit skeptical here. They are going to be potentially taking a fight with this Cute, which I think that nobody really wants to do. So hopefully they can avoid the fighting cow. That'll be amazing for OPMF. We'll have to keep that in mind. Though the circle's going to be coming on through. And teams that have yet to rotate over the river, especially the teams on the south and over to the east, that's where things are... Oh, no. Okay, this is horrible. 2 games in a row, back to back, and we have these circles that are just causing these teams' demise and they're going to have nightmares after today. I'm feeling it. But this is good. Once again, under pressure, you've seen how teams will deal with a really bad spot and with a really bad circle shift. So this is a very telling game as to how these teams can respond under pressure.
OPM down to 2. They're pretty far away from the circle. Let's see what they do with it. Is SD taking a fight against SWAT69, but SWAT69 seem to have things under control. No, just as I say that, Max, they're down to 1. They get wiped out. SD come out on top.
SWAT69 to have it under control tends to die. They die right away. Yes. No, unfortunately, without having a high ground position. Yeah, I think you did, Imperium. There you go. Hey, man, you came at me early game, okay, for Bluebees dying, and then you get what you deserve, okay? That's what I'm going to be saying. But
fair,
at the end, it was a good control, and SWAT69, they did not have the high ground. They had very little amount of leverage in that fight to really take their way, so didn't quite work out. At the end of the day, it's just 1 game. Still got 4 more remaining after that one, and is the only Sandhawk, which is going to be the map where it's a little bit hardest to remain the most consistent, despite having only one match on this map, but it's just still going to be the trickiest map of them all to really deal with, and it is a little bit in the air as how it currently unfolds. Though VSS at this stage, you'll have to see it. VSS maybe not the most popular weapon, but the fact that it is silent in a map where you can just snake your way anywhere, I think the VSS actually works really good towards phase 3 going into phase 5.
Yeah, I didn't wait, phase 3 going into phase 5?
No, I mean like from phase 3 to phase 5 in general, like that entire segment. Phase 4 in the middle, of course.
No,
I know I'm bad in math, but I can count, okay? Please.
Well, hey, you said But yeah, VSS, I didn't really want to mention it, but you're dead right. It's an interesting gun to be utilized, and it could work out in his favor. Again, if you're confident with it, use the loadout. Doesn't really matter too much. Just Rabbit with the DPS. Hey, VSS, it's a little bit unusual coming into the late game. So is the DPS. And Rabbit from WAS has at least made it work for now.
Did you see Roni drop to his death? I think that's why I just saw into the kill feed at some time. So that's going to be only Titans. Unfortunately down. So there's going to be no more Titans apparently into this one. So they're going to be out. 15th position overall. 14 teams shall still remain. But it's like what a squad, despite having a pretty dominant performance there, especially with the DBS, they're going to be down to 1. And especially he's going to be able to take that fight head on. They're going to go for the push initially, and he's going to have to just leave that spot entirely. At least despite getting knocked away, Rabbit can still give some good amount of information over, so he can maybe go for the res, which is a little bit too far to the open. But you know what? That's okay. I don't have my driver's license either, so that's okay. He's going to go for the res, and they should be able to get back as a 2-man crew. And okay, Imperium, I'm gonna lash out. Rise on Glory. Start going into the water. I know you like swimming, but man, this is not swimming simulator. This is shooting gun, taking down people simulator. Okay, you got to stop the water plays.
Mate, water? Would you like some water?
You're Irish, not British, Imperium. You can't do that accent.
Okay, okay, sorry. I tried. Can you do it though?
It's Monday, isn't it? Okay, that's going to be fine. That's all for me. Anyways, that's going to be a little bit of a backstab for Bosky. Unfortunately, did not know, but Coot, they made their way over to the bridge side. Also, Rubik in a very similar position, going underneath, trying to remain undetected. But the blue zone is slowly going to be tickling them, taking down to the health bars. One grenade cooked up pretty good from Pri. Could be relatively strong. Oh, that was so good, but unfortunately for them, Unpluff Coot leaves away. Langit going to heal up. Maybe not the best moment to heal behind that wall. He's going to be pushing it. And Fidan, such a good game one earlier, popping the head off. 6 kills for him, and he's going to try and replicate that amount of success, though. The health bar's going to be taken down from Nailways. Can he heal up in time? It's going to be a close one, but he's still there. Good to go. No. And Fidan will drop to his knees. Coot losing an extremely valuable member of the team. Where's the rest of Coot? That's the question. Did they all cross, or are they still onto the eastern island?
As far as I know, they all crossed, and they are outside of or wrapping around the Hatting area, as far as I know. But fair play to Rubik. They have kept themselves up as a 3-man team. They're going to be able to push in as the circle of phase 4 is encapsulating. Sorry, the blue zone of phase 4 is encapsulating this circle. So the teams who are inside of for now will be able to benefit more, rotating more on towards the kind of edge of the mountainside from where they were. They've pulled out some really solid stuff on these rotations. And again, they're looking quite confident.
It does seem like that's the case, and especially when you are gatekeeping a position, when you're trying to zone away, you have to be a relatively confident team. You've got to have a lot of firepower and feel confident in what you're doing, in your IGLing potential. So they're going to be doing that. Also, RXN in a position which is okay until the moment where teams get close enough and they can just nade that position entirely. Yeah. So their zoning is going to have to be key. As Adley already went down, it's time to respect Senu. And also Zamin, talking about them. There you go. The shots will come on through. Greatly done. Respect finding one, but they will not be able to convert it into a kill just yet, as he was just barely able to make it to that shack.
Be careful. Respect. Do not over peak. Do not over position yourself in the sense of getting counter called out. That sniper tower is great for information, but again, that trigger discipline, you got to ask, what was it worth getting that knockdown if you can't convert it into a kill? His position, in my eyes, has now been compromised. The only thing that LND might think is that it's come from the actual mountain rather than the sniper tower.
It could be the case. Information is going to be key once more. STP trying to move away. Rise on Glory. There you go. Seem like the Water Polo is not going to be working out for them today. That's going to be them having 2 relatively poor performances back-to-back. And when you only have 6 games, Imperium, 2 bad games, starts to sting a little bit more than you might expect. So they're going to have to try and make up for it in the next 4 games of today. Hopefully, we see their true potential coming into those. Now, though, Death Valley. Okay, they're going through Death Valley. Rubik, this is not going to be a fun spot if teams are above, but does anyone play off Boom there? And I don't think that you can really spot them from that position. If you hit a grenade from there, that would be insane, but I'm seeing the play zone onto Coot. That's not going to be looking good, and team will indeed die to the blue. So, yeah, as you said earlier, Imperium, Papa Blue, not being a really good Papa here.
Yeah, not really being good at all. It's no mercy in Sanhok when it comes to blue zone past phase 4. Phase 5 is pushing in. We're nearly at the 20-minute mark of the game. Boom are looking pretty good. STP using that bite to try and get away. They lose one player. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I don't know how much longer they're going to survive for. They don't survive for much longer. STPX, they are out of there.
See you later, Alligator. That's going to be it for them. But you know what? SDG, even if they die now, 10th position was 8 kills, man. That's a pop off for sure. So then if you're going to make up for them if they do tend to die early, though, still going to be having a little bit of gatekeeping. As you said, the zoning from RXN is going to be key if they get close enough one nade, and that is going to be the team out of commission. They're trying their best. They're going to be into the blue barely but surely, and they can allow to overstep their welcome a little bit. But the main issue for this one, we haven't seen them too much, but they finally pop it into the kill feed. That is going to be Boom. Up to 4 kills, losing 2 of their players.
Nice.
As Morph, they're going to be trying their best to push up on this mountaintop position. Mikiara is going to try his best to hold him at bay for the time being, at least. But once again, man, B2R, the blue zone, just tumbling down on everyone, and it's just obliterating this entire lobby as B2R indeed do get eliminated in 10th position.
I wonder if Boom, who had a lovely spread in the early circles, stayed as that spread for too long, coming into kind of phase 3, phase 4, where they've had 2 of their players caught out. That's one thing I do wonder about, because despite Morph having 2 players knocked down, as they stuck together, they stayed together as a full squad. Only Titans are out of there. KHK are out of there. We're down to 7 teams and only 15 players. That's just over average 2 players per team.
This is the breaking point. With a circle like this, you know that everyone's trying to play edge, and the moment the circle tips over the edge, everything is going to be going down south, and things are not going to be looking too good for any of these guys. Though RFX going to have to potentially make his way forward eventually. Boom still has a 2-man crew. This is going to be hard, as you said. I think it would be best for them to try and regroup now, because as a one-on-one, it's not going to be easy, especially in a 1v4 versus Morph. That is a fight you definitely don't want to take. That one, you don't want to try your odds at it. But Rubik, finally, the off angle is going to be paying off versus RXN. Looking for only 1. They're going to confirm as many kills as possible. Looking potentially for 6 onto Respect. But it's going to be going for a nice little sneaky nade. And that nade, if it connects, could be huge. But Boom Esports, there you go. The mountaintop containers are going to be taken out entirely. So now we're down to finally top 5 teams.
Rubik doing a really good job of controlling this circle coming into the late game, taking advantage of that low ground position where they're able to catch people out coming in from the blue. RXN, Pakistan are going to go down. Zaman's prone that he gets taken out. We're down to our final 2 teams, Morph and Rubik's.
And Morph, what a game it's been for them. Rubik, though, down below, unfortunately, though, in that position, if they still got some grenades, things could be getting a little bit sour for them. Though Morph, they got the high ground position, and because of that, with a third-person perspective, they can easily scout the positions of the entirety of Rubik. And they know they had a player die on their side. It was going to be Zabrol. And because of that, they know exactly where he is. He gave the information. He fed it over to the rest of their team. And now he just got to make it rain. No, too much raining. I was talking another way, not like that. But you know what? He still gave it a fair shot. Makes it one-on-one trade. It's okay, I guess. But man, I was talking about grenades. Don't throw yourself over the edge. That was a little bit too much.
Oh man, I feel like it wasn't worth having 1 solo player, but the grenade in through the smoke is at least going to confirm a kill, maybe even a knock. And Kobe a little bit too far away, but he's going to jump down. He's going to get knocked out. Morph down to 1.
No, we're not seeing a throw. We're seeing a throw. We're seeing the throw happen, and Rubik steal the game away from Morph. What a game, but man, if you want to do a jump shot play like that, okay, fair enough. But do it as a team. Don't do it 1 by 1. You're making it so easy for Rubik. You know what, Rubik, they were in such a bad spot too, and they zoned everyone away. So even though it was a steal and a little bit of a throw from Morph, Rubik fully deserved, a win from that one after how they played that entire game.
You're dead right. And even the way they survived against Koot coming in from the blue, they were lucky in terms of the circle shifting towards them on the eastern edge of the mountain and on that low ground. But at the end of the day, taking advantage by being noisy, by being controlling, eliminating arcs, and not being passive. Yes, you're dead right. They deserved that chicken dinner, as well as Morph getting second. A good result from them.
That's what just happened there. That final battle. I mean, credits to Rubik's. They got it, so they get it. But what exactly happened? Break this down for me, Max. How did Rubik get that chicken dinner? And I want to throw in the cheeky comment here. How did Morph give it to them?
I mean, really, okay, so the more throws, that's a completely different matter, but Rubik, how they played it, they entered through the eastern sides already. They delayed their rotation, so there was some potential gatekeeping that was going to happen, but luckily enough for them, all the teams died throughout the bridge rotation towards the northeast. So they were overall in a really good spot. They didn't get contested too heavily. They found a few kills. I think they found one on Kut at some point. It was amazing. And then they just played towards Death Valley and they did not commit. And the thing is, when you are towards Death Valley, when you're next to that position, they just keep playing onto the ridge line and just scout every single angle, making sure that everything is clear. And because of how they were clearing that so efficiently and so effectively, they were just making sure that there's no teams that's going to deny them. And also the circle luck is also a factor to keep into play. That sure, it did go in their favor heavily towards that late game stage, and they just had to stay put. But at the end, how they were just clearing every single compound, every single tree, every single rock to make sure that that position is clear was the reason why they got in that position into the first place. So because of how strategic and how methodical they were in their approach to this circle, I think that's exactly what allowed them to get in that good spot. And then once again, not steal the game, but they were given the game by Morph, I would say.
Yes. Moving on though, I want to talk about the game overall. Max, is there such a thing as playing too passively? And are a lot of these teams doing just that? Because they are waiting till the bitter end to get into those fights, and then they end up getting knocked down because they're all just squashed in those final circles together.
I think that one team that played a little bit too passive that game is going to be only Titans. Since the very early stage of that game, they played extremely passive. They tried to move away from Quarry, which I think was going to be causing their demise. Luckily enough, they just were able to snake away from that spot and remain alive. So that's big. That's still really good. But I think they did struggle quite a bit because of that. And not only that, because talking about teams playing rather passively, I think that Rise on Glory also playing water way too much. And it is causing a lot of issues for them in the long run. So I would like to see them maybe try and take fights a little bit more head forward and just feel a little bit more confident in their potential playstyle. Now we've got the match summary, and everyone's going to be all over the board. It's not going to be just one team really dominating like game one is going to be Coop, but this time around it's going to be a few players and teams just going to be really, really up there, which I do enjoy to see.
You mentioned the big boys, and I think it's time we go and watch all those big boys play. I'm going to jump on out of here, Imperium, Maxman. Let's go to Erangel.
Thank you so much, Sam. Yeah, the big boys going to be coming into play once more. We're going to be having some spicy spaghetti action onto this one for the big boys, hopefully very soon. But you know what? Back to Erangel. We're going to go back to square one on this one. We're going to see potentially a few changes coming out, especially in terms of rotations. I think that we didn't mention the drops. I don't think they're going to change just yet. Maybe later on, but we'll see if teams are going to be thirsty for blood, which I think that this early on, we're not even 50% in. I think that it's not worth taking a risk, because when you are a team that tends to go and play aggressive, you're looking for those kills. You're also taking a risk of falling even further down the drain if you are not able to convert any of those kills. So I think that at this stage, teams are going to stay relatively relaxed. So we're going to have a very chill early game stage once more.
I cannot wait to see what happens in this game number 3.
We're going to be loading in. There we go. Sorry once again for the delay, but we are finally going to be jumping straight into the actual Erangel. Good old Erangel. And we're going to be seeing where this plane path is going to be coming on through. Should be northeast. There you go, northeast to southwest. Going to be pretty nice one. A lot better than game one, I would say, Imperium. Unless you like to draw up in Southern North Island, then you might have to stretch it a little bit. But other than that, this is a lot better than what we've been having so far on Erangel. I'm enjoying it quite a fair amount. And we're going to see where these teams are going to go. But as you said, we are expecting this one to be relatively passive. And once more, in case you did not catch that one earlier, that piece of information, we are going to be having one team, unfortunately, not being in these remaining games of today. Is going to be SD Gaming, one of the few teams of Hong Kong. Unfortunately, will not be able to participate for the remainder of today's matches. So we're going to be down to 60 players and 15 teams in every single remaining lobby of today. Yeah, only team from the Maldives here. They're going to have to potentially try and take themselves a big toll. And boom, we are expecting a relatively big shift from their playstyle in game 2. You mentioned it many times, Imperium, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I said that one correctly this time. I do think that they did have to regroup a lot quicker. So I like to see Boom this time around. At least they are playing a lot more as a team. At least they're trying. They're giving it their best shot. As I said, actually, they're going to be split now. This is not looking amazing. Mika's still going to be able to bring some assistance from this side. Still shot trying to go for the Bloom shot. Connects 2 bullets on his leg. And as we all know, the leg is going to be the weakness of any human being. So that's going to be an instant casualty. Steel shoot behind that car. Going to get pushed up heavily. Is he going to do it, man? Steel shot is doing so much work versus Boom. Takes down 2. Maybe looking for a 3rd. Tirja is going to be trying to assist it from the side behind that tree, and he's going to keep on pushing. It's taking some damage from the side. You've got to be careful. You're not full HP. You can't take it. And unfortunately, he oversteps his welcome. Where's the rest of OPMF? There you go. The backup is here. The cavalry joins the party as they get himself 3 knockdowns onto Boom. And unfortunately, they tend to play split once again. Sure, they did have that off angle from the shack down below in the field. In a head-on fight like this, that is clearly just not going to be enough, Imperium.
So good from OBMF, especially steal shot, flanked and wrapped around, and now Boom is down to just one. Mikey, he's going for the risky push. He's gonna take it all in his hands. Will it work out for him though?
Axiom got the res. That was clutch. That was last second. 1 second more, and that was the dead ally, unfortunately, for them. So PMF are good to go. But Meerkat, I'm surprised. Normally in these positions, you would not want to push this one. You would like to survive as a one-man team, especially when positioning points are so valuable. Yeah. He pushes it, and unfortunately pushes straight to his doom, to his undoing. And that is Boom. Another relatively poor performance. The execution today is just really not there.
It's not going to be easy for them, and that's why they're all going for that desperation rotation on towards Quarry Hill.
This is a big mix of Team RXN down below. Not going to get fully involved. Astra didn't even jump out of the car. And he's already shooting, just guns blazing on this one. They're going to be able to deny that position. And more respecting the opposition. Seem like they just don't want to give away for free, it seems like. They're just trying to move away into the cars. Oh, no, there you go. They're trying to reposition in a more aggressive manner. And a Ninja, Fidan, both knocked away. Break. We see him frag out heavily into game number 1. This might be his other opportunity to prove himself more onto the international stage. Astra's there. They need to pop all the smokes, try and get those registers through. But that was a push without any information. I'm surprised it actually worked this well.
Yeah, but they did it as a full squad, and it was the only way they were going to be able to pull off. Were they benefited by the fact that it was just one morph player there? Yes, but at the end of the day, it was a confident push up the hill, and they made up for it. They only got 2 players knocked down from a distance from a third party, and I think they even picked up a knock onto one of the RXN players, which is being finished off by Rise on Glory. But, you know, I like what Coot did in that engagement up the hill.
It was just a risky one, but the execution on it was fine, so I have no issue. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep on going, guys. Keep on balling. Because now, especially Blue Bees, they are the team that we talked about them a little bit. If we checked out the overall standings, we would know that as of right now, I do not like putting them on the spot like this. They're currently in 16th position. And if I said that they didn't have many points, it would be an understatement. They currently have 0 points. 16th and 14th position back-to-back is definitely not where you want to be. So they need banger after banger if they want to even have a remote chance of taking the title and making it close to top 3. It is Blue Bees. It is the only Japanese representative, so I have high hopes for these guys after all. So we'll be seeing. Now the circle, as you said, over to the western side. It can end up into Quarry and KHK. They were in a really sticky position, but with this hardship like this, it actually helped them out a fair decent bit to avoid a lot of the northern teams.
Really did. It really did. Going back to Blue Bees, it is nice to see them up as a full squad this stage in the game. I don't mean that as shade, but compared to the first 2 games where they went out early in Sunhawk and they lost players early on in Erangel, it's going to fare much more beneficially to the result in this 3rd game of the day. We did see that circle popping up a bit. You can see Blue Bees' position. They only have 1 team behind them. I think it's LND, but other than that, they have so much space around them because on that phase 3 shift onto the west, a lot of teams opted to go for that deep rotation into the circle.
Just good zoning in general. They're able to keep everyone at bay, making sure that they can clear their own zone and be good to go off of that. There you go. I was seeing Scout. They were sneaking away closer every single time. And lucky enough for them, they were able to get a full-on res on their team. So they're up, ready to take that fight head-on with Morph. Great nade, by the way. Perfectly cooked up for Coot. Looking for a second one, Ninja. Seemed like he did spot Summer for a second. He's going to give it a shot, a little bit short on the range. He's got the good idea. The spray is going to be continuous, though. These smokes, not sure from which they came, but if these are smokes coming out from Coot, these are not the best, as it does deny a lot of information from them. There you go. That makes a lot more sense if they come from Morph. He's trying to spray randomly, and it actually works out in some way, shape, or form. The car explodes, and unfortunately, when the car explodes, that is not a knock. That is an instant kill. So Coot picking up an extra point along the board.
Yeah, Morph, as much as I respected them repositioning off the back of their first player going down, again, it was very much about survival rather than control. And Coot, on the opposite hand, they positioned, they pushed to control. They got that first kill. They're looking for more, chucking out the grenades, taking the shots. It is so good. It's a reason why they're currently on the top of the leaderboard right now. Coot, they're on 40 points. In 2 games, that's an average of 20 points per game. That is well above what we're going to be looking for in these 6 games for now. Of course, the more games you go through, Max, the higher chance your average points per game is going to dwindle down a bit. But for Coot, they're looking good.
Imperium did be spitting straight facts right there. Though we did see RXN Pakistan apparently falling down in 14th position. Very unlucky. They were in a field, so not very easy to play around that spot. And that shall indeed cause their downfall. Though, down below, Alpha, there you go, looking for a little bit of an opportunity. Only Titans, though. Can he convert that into kills and points? That's going to be the question to be answered. KHK, seems like they're dwindling and fizzling out into absolute nothingness. One player shall remain, and that is going to be Sully. And he's in a shack crying in the corner, hoping that nobody realizes he's there.
Let's go.
And unfortunately, everyone knows he's there, so he's going to have to be very good on this zoning potential. Spots out, man. My eyes are, man, my vision is so bad. I didn't even see there was a player there. God damn.
Got big brain plays from Sully. He knows. And as a solo player, he has just got to survive and stay prone down. Rubik, he's down by the side of the building, trying to hunker down. Is LND going to play on the fields? Bluebees still stopping them from really being controlling in the circle.
They're holding to the southeast ridge line, so they're going to try and make sure that this position is clear. I think this actually really well played from Blue Bees. They don't want to be too proactive and aim towards center circle. They got one player scouting, looking toward the center circle. The rest are taking care of the team over to the east to make sure they don't get backstabbed, which I think that how Blue Bees are playing this is actually relatively strong. Those SWAT 69, they're going to be the third team of this lobby, dropping down to nothingness. So we're going to be down to now 12 teams, 41 players. So not many teams are going to be up to a 4-man squad. They're going to be the likes of Rubik, STP, Morph, and also KHK. The KHK, we said it earlier, down to only Sully. So a lot on his plate for sure. As Rubik, DBS play at this stage of the game, not too usual. Has got a full-on fight happening. There you go, B2R. They're going to be trying their best to contest it. Pixie got knocked, but the rest shouldn't be too hard to pull off. But they're especially getting naded, which this position outside of the building is not really safe to play in.
And this is outside the circle as well. So for B2R, if they're going to survive this fight, they need to try and get away now. And for Rubik, if they're going to push in, they need to push in now because time's ticking away. They've got less than a minute until the blue zone starts closing in. And this is phase 5. Beautiful pre-nade from Cupid.
There you go. We want to see some grenades unlike game 1 and game 2, and we're seeing it come on through in style. Cook grenade. The Molly actually sending away B2R. That is so well played. And he's going to be cooked to a crisp, but not good time for them. Especially when Pixie and Gouda are going to be knocked away. B2R still got 2, Gucci and also Cupid. We're going to see if Gucci is indeed going to be Gucci gaming in this. And hopefully he get his team back on their feet. But you know what? Seemed like not too much going to be happening. They will be able to survive the encounter and get himself into a good spot with 3 kills coming to their name. SDP, they're going to be switching over to their POV, still up to 3, 0 kills so far for them, but they got the advantage on only Titans, but unfortunately with the circle moving forward, they can't afford to overstep their welcome.
The low ground for Oni Titans would actually say gives them a little bit more of an ability to rotate onto the edge of the circle as 2 of their players are going in the vehicle. That's good play by Oni Titans. They do have those vehicles that they're using to their advantage. Not saying that they're going to survive as a full squad, but there is a huge chance that they're going to get away cleanly from STP.
Good stuff, good stuff. They started moving initially. Oh yeah, they can't shoot. They can't shoot. We can rotate as a 4 team. Though, what a squad. There you go. Down south. They're going to move their way forward, but they've got 2 teams to fight through. This is not going to be amazing. They're going to try their best. They've got all the cars under their control. Ready for kills, so not too shabby of a game as of right now. They're going to be crashing their way forward. There you go. Nice little makeshift mini compound from that one. And now Bluebees, the roles have actually been switched. And Bluebees are going to be healed away from this circle. They're ticking down heavily. The Blues are not looking good. Morph team will get eliminated from this one. These were one of the top contesting teams. So dying in 10th position is going to cause them so many issues in the long run.
For sure, for sure. That was a classic bait by WAS on a side note. They sent 1 player forward, distract Bluebees. Bluebees took shots, got narrow-minded, then they got caught out. Bluebees are now down to just 1. On a side note, on the north edge of the circle, we have 2 3s fighting for the field edge of this phase 6.
Snake finish, you know it though. Oh, there you go. I was about to say, you got to use this one, OPMF Venom. Use those cars, create makeshift compounds with the hay bales, and you might be able to get the best spot in this entire circle. At least you're going to build it. And I think that that's going to be the best course of action. Cute though. They made their way downhill, and now they're starting to get into the nitty-gritty, into the really intense part of this game. Field finishes, we know it is really in the air as to who's going to be taking it. And so far, there's only really 2 teams inside of it, and that's it. So you're going to see some big roaming coming on through, because in 20 seconds, the circle is going to be enclosing around these players and suffocating them. And you know that we're going to be losing potentially half of this lobby in the upcoming minute or 2.
We're already down to 9 teams, 23 players. So if we lose too much more. It's going to be a little bit easier for the remaining teams. It's going to be about survival of the fittest in the open fields as the shots are being fired through. Coot are surviving as they still have a full squad, but only one of the players of the full squad is inside the circle, and that player's just got knocked down.
A full squad in a field finish is absolutely bonkers. If you can play around your team correctly and take the advantage, take control while not being overconfident, that is how you win games. Though, what a squad, what a rotation, should I say. Going straight central circle, not giving a damn in the world, and the circle's right on top of their position. That might be the game-winning opportunity that what a squad just seized right off the bat, and they are in the best position in this entire circle. But I said it, 1-2 minutes, we're down to now 5 teams, got cut by 50%. And this is where things are going to get a little bit calmer. We're going to have a lot of snaking coming on through. But man, what a squad. That was a huge rotation. Extremely risky, but it might just pay off in the long run here.
Rise and Glory, SCP, 13th and 15th respectively. They're in the top 5 of this game 3. The turnaround could be happening for these two teams. For WAS, they want to hold on. They want to continue. The shots are being fired up. And that's going to be a knockdown being fired on through onto the hands of STP.
This is insane. Also, what a squad. They had only 3 points before this one, was 14th position overall. They are just going to be multiplying their points by bazillions. Well, maybe not that much, but a pretty fair, decent amount. So they're going to be looking good. I said it. I'm not good in math, guys. I'm giving it my all. But at the end, STP is still going to try and make their snake forward. A lot of smokes have been used very early on into this game, by the way, Imperium, which means that at this stage, there might not be that many smokes remaining for a few of these squads that got involved in many fights throughout the entirety of this game. And it seemed like just by how Rise on Glory are positioned and how the fact that they're not using smokes, I think they're already out of smokes. That's going to make matters really hard for them.
Drop your backpacks. Drop everything. Stay barren. Minimum amount of ammo. Minimum amount of utility. And hope for the best. Coot are still in with a chance. They still have a full squad. The circle shifts, and they have a beautiful spread. Look at that spread from Coot. That's insane. With WAS in the firing line as well.
I mean, they're not really spread. They're on top of each other. One nade, and they're gone. So I would like to see a little bit more of a spread coming out from there. I wanted to see them take a little bit more control. And this is the issue here. It's going to be very easy to scout on down. One good nade from STP, and it could be over. L&D Legends are going to be defeated. They're going to be out in 4. 3 teams now remain. STP still going it there. Oh, but no, Astro just being too clinical on those shots. Confirming kill number 11 for them, but there you go. What a squad. Nice off angle. I like it. Fioran's been a little bit more proactive than the rest of his team. He's pushing forward, looking for that opening shot, especially that might buy just enough time for break on the back end to get those reses through. But I think that especially Lord Sam is not going to allow that to happen. This is down to the wire. Such a close game. 2v1v1. Unless the reses come on through, which Ninja's going to get resed up by break. This is actually huge. This might be the winning factor for Coot to secure this third game today and get a double win throughout 3 games. That's an insane win ratio.
I was thinking Lord Sam could clutch this out, Max, but off the back of the full squad revive, that ain't happening. Now, I don't know if they know he's around there, because it seems like they're more focused on the last player of WAS.
This is typically when you go for the ASMR casting, taking things very calm. Blue zone's going to be ticking down. Do you want to give the kill away? Oh, he does. And there you go. Coot are making it happen. 3 games and 2 of those go their way. Not just a win. That's a dominant win. Look at all the kills going their way. That's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 14. That's going to wait. No, did I get that wrong? I think I got it wrong. I told you guys, math is not my best. But you know, at the end, that's a lot of kills. I can tell you that much.
Coot, man. What a game. What a game. Seriously, I'm so impressed by them. Their control, their aggression, their confidence, the fact that they kept themselves up as a full squad so late into the game. You were right. They were very bunched together at kind of that phase 7 stage. But that also worked in their favor because when 2 of their players got knocked, not only did they counter with the kills, but they got the revives up.
What an incredible performance from Coot. Our first double chicken dinner, there it is. And gents, we have a series now. Whole different game from a lot of teams. We saw some of the favorites getting knocked out. Coot is currently in the top after the first 2 games. No doubt they're going to stay in that winning position, Imperium. And just, you mentioned it earlier, but we'll say it again, amazing plays from them throughout.
Yeah, like the fact that they had a confidence to, in the open field, stand the player up. It was crouched, but still stand the player up from that prone position and look for the shots off because they were together. That player got knocked, right, Sam? But at the end of the day, it's that little bit of, hey, we will suffer a player getting knocked because we get to weed out where the players are around us. And that's where having yourself up as a full squad so late in the game is so much more important, and it really allowed them to swing the end game in their favor.
Max, do you agree with? I mean, I'm going to throw the same question to you. Were you surprised by how many of those top teams dropped out right early on in that game?
We did have a few little fights. We didn't have an insane amount of kills coming on through in terms of players dying, but we did have a few teams die, especially early on. I think was a very interesting factor, especially Boom. That's the team that stands out to me. They got involved into a fight. Once again, very out of position. That was what also caused their demise. Last game on a mountaintop finish towards Sanhok. And I think that here that they are lacking synergy. Their team fighting capabilities on a micro scale is relatively strong, but I think they are lacking team fighting capabilities. That macro mechanic, that IGLing also, I think, is missing for the team. And Imperium, you said it, they're currently playing in PMPL, and they do stand out as being a relatively strong team. But I think that this is them not being even PMPL ready. These just basic mistakes that I think should not be happening here. I'm being rather critical because they have such strong positions and they do not use them. I want to see them be a lot more clinical on how they use their terrain. And if they do so, I think they could be rewarded with, very easy, consistent top fives. But we have just not been seeing that coming out from them as of right now.
It's exciting. We're halfway through. This is the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3 World Finals East. Okay, here we go. This is it. We are going to be dropping onto Miramar. This is the big one. We are halfway through the competition. Could potentially just keep on going. I'm still talking. I need to shut up. Imperium, Max, let's go.
Oh, no, you don't have to show. Hey, you could join us maybe later on. That'll be fine. We'll have a little trio cast with Sam. That'll be cool. You know what? Yeah, Imperium is going to be Miramar on this one. The plane is going to be high in the sky once again. And we've been talking many, many times about this map of Miramar. I know not the most kill-focused map of them all. And by that, I mean it is not kill-focused whatsoever. It's all about rotation, all about pathing, seeing exactly what you're going to be aiming to move to. And drop locations too, had it passive on the Wrangle. It should be relatively passive onto this, as there we go, going to have a better view of the map. And boom, we said it. We want to see them catch up, and they are going hyper passive, Omega Ultra plus Beta Alpha passive, as they're going to go for the position next to Campo Militar. They really want to avoid as many teams as possible to avoid getting taken down early on. We're talking about this early stage, and we're going to be having a few altercations between a few teams, so they are going to be looking for them. This is so weird because this has been the most aggressive game after we had 2 Wrangles and 1 Sanhok, and Miramar is the map where we had the most aggressive early game action currently unfolding. We talked about it, Rubik. A good altercation early on with SWAT 69. Already popping the hell off Nelways that with the UMP is going to be looking good. Or as Imperium like to say, is the ump. I'm never going to forget that. I'll never forget for sure. But at the end, they're going to be doing some sick plays up to already 4 kills. And that's going to be SWAT 69 already down the drain. That we barely started. What the hell is going on? This map has been more aggressive than Sanhok and Erangel combined. And this is Miramar. This is not supposed to happen. Really goes to show that sometimes the lack of information on hot drops can really cause one's demise. As what a squad going to move into their POV. They're in a relatively good spot, so we're going to be good to go. But I think we've got some other altercations currently happening around the map. And there you go, talking about that one. STP eliminated early on. They're going to be out in 14th position. 0 kills to their name. There you go. They shall be defeated. Out of the lobby you go, and you can do a few little games, on the side if you want, while you're waiting to get back into the lobby, because this is going to be one long Miramar game for sure. Horizon Glory. Gonna have to sneak their way out of that one. That car is fuming. Is it going to be long term? It's not going to be long term. It's going to be relatively short term, I would even say. As Morph, they're just fishing. This is fishing simulator, picking up kills left, right, and center.
For sure, 110%. That rotation and their pathing should be very much based on that western road from the Cabri area. The timing of it is going to be important. They could wait for phase 2 to pop up, to be fair. Although they would have to recognize that they would be going into that phase 2 circle with a lot less information. But either way, if they go direct, like through, let's say, the Picado area, San Martin area, that is so risky. So risky. While Morph are taking shots on to what a squad, and knockdown comes through. Okay, Morph. Okay, Morph, this is better. This is good.
Hey, there you go. Taka going to put himself in a really good spot. Actually done with a Mini 14. Got to say, one of the best weapons. The DMRs on Miramar are so clinical to use if the execution's on point. Everyone's going to be just moving away. There we go. Little bit of a split screen coming on through. Ocean going to be in a really bad spot. Unfortunately, not having a high ground. And these kind of fights is not looking good for Water Squad. And unfortunately, this time around, that call that worked out good for them last game is not going to be happening back to back. So it seemed like was that last play. They're going to have to cruise their way out of that one. The rest are just not worth taking. They're going to chase it down. Morph, they are hungry for kills. Jumps out. He's got an easy shot potentially. It's going to keep on tumbling down. Hey boy was the MVP last game and not this one. He's going to get absolutely shattered to pieces. And Morph, we said it. They could, our team that could be contesting away that #1 spot. And they're doing it in style. Already up to 6 kills in just the first phase of this circle.
I will say, because we started with 15 teams due to STG dropping out, and we've had 3 squad wipes, we're already down to 12 teams, 46 players. So that in turn does allow for an automatic higher amount of landmass available coming into the circle for these teams. That might allow some teams who are on the edge of circle to push in a bit more aggressively or riskily, knowing that there's technically a higher chance of more land being available. But you still got to get the information, as B2R are looking to get the information onto KHK.
There's still many compounds to aim for. That fight does not make sense, but seems like it's going to make sense to them, as Pixie's going to get exploded to smithereens and spread across the 4 cardinal points of the map, apparently, down to pieces. So very unfortunate run of events. So we're going to have some big points of pressure happening over there. Morph also, they're golden in their position. They're going to be good to go. Only Titan, they can shift around the northwestern edge, go straight up north even if they want to. I think they're going to be good. There you go. OCO looking for the shots. Able to put Zamin down to a slither of HP. He's waiting for the backup because the entirety of Blue Bees is not currently here and ready to go for the push. So Blue Bees, don't push it. Take it chill. Push when the full team is there. This is a little bit too early. I'm scared, but you know what? It works out fine. OCO is feeling pretty damn confident. It's a little jump shot. One connects, surprisingly enough. He's going to keep pushing that one on a 1v1 scenario. But Adderley, with the third-person perspective, should be able to normally get the damage through pretty easily. But you know what? He's going to move on back. That grenade had a good idea, had the proper intention. That grenade's not going to be cooked up. Adderley, that should be a pretty easy dodge for him. But yeah, this is not the cleanest initial engage, but they make up for it pretty nicely. Atishan, good angle with the M4. Going to get an instant kill. That's going to be the first kill, I believe, of this game for Blue Bees, as they're going to try and wrap this one off in style. And this is not a central compound by any stretch of the imagination, but you have to make it through here alive to make it into the circle itself.
That was perfectly played by Blue Bees. And now the rest of RXN are going to have another squad pushing it on towards their space. Boom. Esports coming in from behind. And knockdown comes on through onto Rexpect. That leaves just B Samurai left on his own.
Yep, Boom, they're going to be the contenders of this position. Shots are going to be blazing left, right, and center. Seem like Boom now, the information has been granted over. RXN, they've still got 1. Samurai, let's see if he can just get some ninja moves down on the opposition. Going to be a pretty hard one. Yeah, Blue Bees here, unfortunately, they are pinned. And I do like it, though. They have a nice, very good 2-2 split. And they're trying to wrap around onto the side, but Boom, they are fully alert of this one. And Boom, Imperium. I can't believe it when I say this, but they're actually playing together. So this is actually potential win condition for them.
So are Blue Bees. Blue Bees are playing incredibly well together right now. They're being controlling, they're being aggressive. They're taking their time as well, getting into the right notes. For B Samurai, all he can hope is that the 2 teams around him look to take each other out. Otherwise, it's going to be a matter of Samu back in the AR for B Samurai and the whole of RXN Pakistan in this 4th game of the day.
Seems like Boom are not really too interested with this one. They're going to extract themselves away from the equation and leave Blue Bees remaining. And Blue Bees, they know for a straight up fact there was not a squad wipeout because they had to confirm the kills manually onto the players of RXN. So they know there's one player that should technically still be into this one. So that's where they're going to push as a team. Really good push from Bluebees, making up for a little bit of a weird engage initially. And you know what? This is going to be exactly what they need to do. Samurai knows he's getting surrounded. There's not really much he can do. Great off angle by Momoko. And there you go. We're set and done. RXN out of the picture, out in 12th position. 11 teams now remain, but that was a way cleaner push from Bluebees.
So clean. And you mentioned about kind of XQX cooking up that grenade, that it wasn't like, you know, really well cooked. It was intended not to be, because Idol-chan was in that building on the other side, and just that little bit of teamwork, that coordination from Bluebees was so valuable. But that circle, that shift, that is not valuable to Bluebees. That's a hard northeast shift.
Yeah, I do agree that was the fact of that grenade. It did allow them to push out. I just think that they did tend to push a little bit one by one initially, and it was a little bit, it wasn't as clean as it could have been. But you know what? They still come out on top, and that's all I have to say. I can't argue with results at the end of the day. But though you said it, this circle is a rather interesting one. It is not fun to play with, very flat terrain. No teams are in there whatsoever as of right now. So the first few teams that make it over there will be the kings of the map of Miramar. It's now Bluebees. They're going to go downhill once more. As they're going from fight to fight, they're having no break, but it's so unfortunate. They supposedly had the squad wipeout to RXN, but a few of those kills got stolen away by Boom, so they only got 2 to their name right now, which, and that's a very unfortunate run of events for them. Those 2 kills could have made a pretty big difference in the rankings.
Yeah, it definitely could, but they've still got a decent time to go. They can make up for it, so to speak, as Bluebees are spraying up towards B2R. The shots are being fired off, but B2R, they're only going to survive for so long in the open road. They're in for the pickings. Another knockdown comes on through, and Bluebees are finding the kills for their side.
Hey, dude, 3 kills. I'll take those. Thank you. Bluebees, they're appreciating life. As, unfortunately for them on the other side, they're going to have to hit the deck. Bluebees going to try and split a little bit, which I do like it. They understand. They're reading this circle so well. They understand, okay, the circle shifting up north. That means it's going to be a big concentration of teams down in the southern section of this circle, which makes a lot of sense. They're reading that perfectly well, which is why you've seen so many teams funnel towards that western road. And I think that it makes a lot of teams have the same idea, and it's a good idea at that, but when all the teams have the same idea, it does end up a little bit abruptly, I would say. Zeto-chan, IGL once again of Bluebees. One nade could be the despair call of B2R. Someone going to be on point. A little bit off. Back into the car. Oh, no. Okay, there you go. M16 a few. 3. Oh, whoa. Okay, we just got through there. Damn, he's just trying to... He's an absolute mad lad. This is not Mad Max, this is PUBG Mobile. We've got to calm himself down a little bit, but you know what? That's going to be all good and done. But Bluebees understand that they're going to be surrounded by teams. They can't allow to overstep their welcome. They're going to look for a compound. It's still not in the circle itself, so they got to keep on moving.
Oh my lord. That's what I love about Bluebees, is that they're running and gunning, so to speak. They're not just rotating to survive. They're genuinely rotating to push in to the edge of the circle. Plus, they're at the kind of mindset where they're going, okay, we've already gotten kills. Let's see if we can get some more. It might be compromising our position in the circle, but we are confident, guys. We are confident as they pick up another kill onto Rubik.
Great scouting from Summer, by the way, for Morph towards this position of the compound central. They're going to be in a good spot, though. Yeah, the blue zone is not looking good. 0, maybe. Oh, my God. That's way too close for comfort. He makes it out alive. For how long, though? He's going to make it down below. He's the last player of Bluebees. And Rubik, unfortunately, left in the dust, in the blue zone. And now he just has to heal. He's still got 2 first aids, 9 bandages. So he should be good. But for how long? As the circle keeps shifting away from Bluebees. These guys are unlucky as hell.
How is this a Chumacera finish? I was not expecting it. Let's be fair. I was genuinely not expecting an Edge of Chumacera finish. That has been some wild circle shifts considering what we saw in phase 1 as Rubik suffers a casualty at the hands of a beautiful grenade from LND.
Yeah, Aladdin just asked the genie to offer him some really good aim on this grenade, and you know what? He granted his wish. He's going to be putting himself in a good spot. Imperium, don't shake your head to me. You have even worse jokes than me sometimes. With that said, we're going to keep on going into this one.
I'm proud.
Yeah, I've learned from the best. As LND still, we said it, they got himself a really good position. But for how long? Because their position is about to get engulfed by the blue. So they need to start moving forward. If they can just send a scout forward, that'll be amazing. But there you go. The Battle of Nades is going to be cruising on through. But Morph able to hold on to this ridge line for so long is actually nuts.
A little bit of circle look, I can say, because they held on to the southern hills of Chumisera from the start of the game anyway. But the fact that they've been able to pick up multiple kills across the board, they're controlling, they're pushing DPMF back away from them, creating more of an encapsulated position in circle. They're currently on 7 kills.
Yes.
This is Morph, but oh my lord, Boom, you take the shots. You got to reposition as soon as possible. You overpeaked, my friend. You paid the price.
Hansley was Omaewa Mu Shinderu Nani and just straighten it back and he's gone. There you go. See you later, alligator. That was good time knowing you, but Hansley popping off as he does throughout any event, even in African PMCO. Coot though, running for their money, trying their best to make it out, but I said it, this guy has been scouting so well for the entirety of Morph, and he's been the reason why they were able to get himself in a nice central position so early on. But now he's going to be going for the push with a muscle car, but Coot still running their way forward. Beautiful. It's phase 5. You can't afford to stay here for too long, Coot. You need to make it out right now. And yes, Summer's literally just picking up kills so easily. They are running to steal away the #1 spot away from Coot. And they're out. They're gone. That's huge.
Yep. Huge. It's massive for Morph Esports. It's massive for their climb back up. As the last player of Booms is just trying, one of the last 2 players of Boom is just trying to dance around the bullets that's being sprayed out by KHK, but Boom have a better position coming in on the edge of the circle, and KHK, they lose 2 getting knocked down.
I gotta say, huge respect coming the way of KHK. I think they had some of the cleanest, if not the cleanest rotations of this entire game. Their way of avoiding teams has just been clinical from start to finish. But now, unfortunately, it's late game, and late game, you're supposed to encounter teams and take the fights, and that's where they tend to struggle a little bit. So we'll see if they can maybe turn the tides in their favor, though. Still Shot, one of the top damage dealers, by the way, last game. The reason why Boom died so early on game 3. And he is, once again, coming into this one, trying to take as many names as possible. We'll see if DPMF Venom can maybe take themselves this game. That'll be a huge turnaround for them. But they're still not into the circle, and they've got to make their way through an open land. And Morph, you know for sure, they're not going to allow that to happen.
I thought Boom were down to 3 players, but they still have a full squad up, to be fair. Credit to them. They got 3 players up front, 1 player down the back. They have the low ground of that circle. They could take this away from Morph as they're firing up onto KHK.
You know what? That's a call of desperation. They have no other idea of what they have to do. They're just forced in this position. They have no option in the matter. One sneaky grenade. Is it going to be a Kobe? Could be a close one. Going to pair it up with a Molly too. I guess them take damage. The Molly a little bit too far. But KHK, if they have no meds, this is going to be the end of the road for them. And very unfortunately, only Titans also eliminated in top 5. That's still a relatively good performance in how they've been playing throughout these first 3 games. Now, there you go, top 4 in this one. Unfortunately for him, that's going to be the side of Venom taken out of the equation entirely. And so will be the case of another team coming down very soon, hopefully. But Boom, we said it, they're still up as a 4-man crew on the road like this. This is so surprising, but man, the circle luck for Morph has been insane this game. What the hell?
With 12 kills! So not only have they got the circle look, but they created their position. They pushed in. They've gotten aggressive right from the start of this game. Now they're into the final 3. They still have a full squad up, but they got Boom in front of them. They do have the circle advantage. Plus, as far as I know, with the last player of KHK in play, the shots are being fired by Morph, looking for Boom.
How are you going to push this one, Morph? You've got to give it your best engage. You need to be there as a 4-man team. They need 41 points to catch up to #1 position, so every single kill is indeed going to count. They got the high ground position. These smokes making it a little bit harder for them. There you go. Voka's going to be knocked away instantly. Really good stuff from Taka. And now they're down to 1. It's going to be Miya. And unfortunately, Miya is just not with the rest of his team, so he can't do much. And Morph, they're going to push it. They know they got the advantage. There's nothing Boom can do. And that is an insane one. Still Boom, 8 kills, 3rd position. That's still a pop-off performance. But KHK, sneaky KHK on the angle. They forgot about Sully. And because of that, they're going to steal away that 2nd spot away from Boom. But Morph still has a 4-man team. We all know what's going to happen here, Imperium. Has your family? Hey, maybe not. Have I talked too soon? Sully, the man himself, the beast from South Africa, might be taking an upset up to Morph. It's Morph taking it slow now. They know exactly where Sully is. They know for a fact that he's the last player, so they need to pin him down, surround him, and I think that Sully might decide to go down to the blue zone to deny an extra point away from Morph, and that's exactly what it's going to do. I think that was the best idea to go for, and there we go. Game number 4, coming the way of Morph. We knew it was going to happen, and just like Class Digital Athletics, they learned how to close off these games, Imperium.
But is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? Either way, we'll find out. At the end of the day, Morph deserved that chicken dinner so much. It was a perfectly executed game from start to finish, from phase 1 right until the very end phase. It was magnificent. Summer getting 8 kills. I believe that's the highest amount of kills in one game we've had in today's game so far from an individual player. Fantastic for Morph.
I can't believe what has just happened. Imperium, I feel like they potentially heard you talking and thought, you know what, we're going to prove you wrong.
There you go.
Hey, I did
Big
say, can you prove me wrong? To be fair, can you prove me wrong? And Morph so far, low-key proved me wrong, but it has to become hard key. It has to be that like next game win. It has to be that next game dominating performance as well.
I have so many things I want to talk about. I don't even know where to start, so I'm going to make my job easier. Max, where do you want to start? What was the big standout for you?
Oh, so I have to find the topic now. Wait. At the end, there was just so many things to break down in that game. Of course, we're only going to have one Miramar game, so we were expecting potentially to have some hot drops happen. I was not expecting this many early game interactions between teams. I think it was definitely a little bit more than average. I said it at the very start, is like, this is feeling more aggressive than Sanhok, which typically does not happen on Miramar. This is the biggest map in the game. Sanhok is the smallest, and yet this was the most aggressive early game we've had throughout the entirety of these games today. So a little bit surprising in that point, at least. But I said it coming into the mid game, and I think the Imperium, you can also fully agree with me on this one. The rotations from a lot of these teams were just clinical. Bluebees, their best rotations throughout the entirety of today was now. Same for KHK, avoiding all of the fights and only getting involved until the very later stages. Sure, they did struggle, but Sully survived long enough to take a second position. And because of the point system, second position, man, that's 14 points. That's amazing. And now they're putting themselves potentially in the race to get really high in the overall standings. I loved it. This was a great Miramar game.
That is the result. I honestly think that after our last desk where you said that you don't think anyone can catch Kuda, I imagine all of Morph sitting down going, challenge accepted. And this is what has now happened. Another team, though, that I thought was really impressive, and we finally got to see what they've got, Max, was Bluebees. I thought they were so aggressive from the get-go. They just went out there going, we're not finishing in 16th place. Really good play from them as well.
I really enjoyed it. I think I did critique a little bit early on that breach initially that they did take up on that compound down south of the circle. I think it was a little bit all over the place, but at the end, how they executed on it, once the team followed up on it, I think was some of the cleanest fights we've seen today from Bluebees. Bluebees are, in my eyes, our team that embody inconsistency. They can have some really bad performances, 0 points. They did it back-to-back on game 1, game 2, and then they have some of the most insane games, and this is the Bluebees I want to see all the time. If they can play on this level 24/7 every single tournament they get involved with, I think we could be seeing Bluebees just be literally not only on top of this tournament but on top of the international stage, dominating and fighting up against the likes of Bigatron, 4 Men, Nova. I think they could, but it's just because they are so inconsistent, they don't always play like this. But if they do like this more, I really think we could be seeing them go a really, really long way in the competitive scene.
This is really nice because now you get a chance to see how much of a difference certain moves have made. KHK being able to move themselves up. Team Crute now has to stress a little bit. Imperium. Anything else there that catches your eye?
Yeah, what does catch my eye is Oni Titans.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because they're a team that we talked about being quite passive, yet they have 27 kill points and only 5 placement points. You know, fair play. Like, they still need to massively improve on their placement points. Don't get me wrong. Maybe that's the other way around, but I don't know. Either way, if that's the case, if Oni Titans do have 27 kill points, they will want to balance that out with higher placement points.
So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams do in this end of the tournament, and also what they can do in the other official tournaments that will be happening throughout the year.
I'm excited to see the future of PUBG Mobile, courtesy of this Red Bull M.E.O Season 3. But I'm also excited to see our second last game. So Max, Imperium, let's jump into it and find out if Crute can grab a third chicken dinner.
Let's see what they can do coming into game 5. Mix that or balance that strong placement results with a couple of extra kills, and they could easily get into the top 3.
As you see once again here, we're ready to jump to match 5. Back onto Erangel once more. Going to be seeing what we're going to be dealt with once more. Once again, one team was not able to show up for the remainder of these games today, which is why we only have 15 teams in the lobby. But this time, 59 players. It seems like one team's going to be down 2, potentially 3. So hopefully, team will be able to overcome that overall hurdle. As this playing path is pretty good, I'd say. Imperium, very nice. As we're going to be seeing exactly what we're going to be dealt with over here.
That's so true. That is so true. But that's where you got to see the adaptability of teams, not only from the lateral angle game, but to their own gameplay individually. Like, as an example, Boom, you know, like to go to Yasnaya. They have got a bit of a spread where they send one player down towards farm. That's possibly them adapting to the point where they're able to have that scout gathering information close to the circle, while what a squad going to be facing a little bit of pressure from LND rotating close by to them.
Few shots in the open from Farmer. One mid farm kills just now, though, so he's going to be keeping on going on to the move. Very nice casking, by the way. I do got to say, I am very unlucky when it comes down to those pulls, but this one is a banger for sure. But yeah, overall, what a squad. They have shown that they are a team that when they must, they will. And take from that what you want. They are a team that when they have to go for a specific call and a specific move, they are going to be doing so in really big ways. Because, man, we're hyped, as we said, Imperium. This is the final wrangle of this entire event for the Eastern region, at least. Next map is going to be the Kendi, baby. Like, I am over the moon for that one.
Oh, for Kendi. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Also long.
Yeah. For Rise on Glory, I really love their rotation from the military island max. They use the eastern bridge, utilizing the fact that most teams will be heading towards the western side where the circle is encapsulated. It makes complete sense. It doesn't mean their job is, let's say, any easier rotating into the circle, but the start of it is going to be good as Bluebees get caught out.
And we hyped them up for this game potentially. Oh, that's an unfortunate one. Respect, gotta say. He's been fragging out pretty consistently every single game, I do have to say. So, RX in Pakistan, he has been one of these top players of the team. Bluebees, because of their current position being split early on, they can't regroup onto Mabuko. So that will be normally a very easy kill to confirm for them. So RXN, yeah, off to a really good start, I would have to say. Bluebees, though, taking some shots. They haven't given up on their teammate just yet. We're going to try and keep him at bay. Maybe a little bit of smoke. And he's going to go for the nade, but unfortunately, no one is there. He's going to try and maybe go for the confirm onto Mabuko. Oh, he's going to be... okay, that was not the best grenade. But you know what?
Nope.
I respect the attempt. That's okay. Oh,
nice sprays.
Yeah, still, they're so split. Look at that. They're just surrounded. There's so many corners and angles that they just can't hold on to. And seem like, yeah, now RXN are going to reposition. They know exactly where the rest of Bluebees currently are. They can't go down here, otherwise they're giving the advantage over to RXN. So Bluebees, they're forced in this fight and they just can't back away without a car. They are split themselves. These two teams are fully not ready to take a fight head on. So RXN also trying to move backwards, but Bluebees don't really want to allow this to happen. And I like how proactive they're trying to be now to stop RXN from retreating away from this fight.
I will give credit to Bluebees. They're definitely standing their ground in a strong way. They're showing that, hey, there is definitely risks to our kind of split positioning, but the advantage we do get of more information, we are using that to turn this fight around, or at least turn it away from a disadvantage to a more neutral engagement. I will say the longer they leave it for both teams to engage on each other, the higher chance they might get third party, because even though they're not super central to the circle, it is, you know, outside Primorsk. They could get gate kept. The shots are going to be heard. A team might look to explore that.
A little bit of gatekeeping should be coming into play for sure, Imperium. I would not be surprised whatsoever. Is this one? I like it. You know what? This is a lot more laid back. We did come into this game as 59 players, so now we're down already 3. And respect, no, respect. Oh, man, he jumped out a little bit. Yeah, thank you for my math. But yeah, respect jumps on a little bit too early. So it seemed like he's going to be falling to his death. And now it's Zamin solo versus Bluebees. And they got such a good spread. Like, this tree is just clearly not going to cover all of those angles. And he knows that he has to push it. He has no option. And he knows that he's going to be taken down. It was a call of despair. And unfortunately, in despair, he shall fall and remain. As RXN, Pakistan, will get eliminated in 15th position. Bluebees, you know what? Off of the bat of a little bit of a misplay on their position, they come out on top with an extra 4 kills to their name.
Fair play to them. Yeah, again, what initially looked bad, they turned it around, they stood their ground, and that is confidence. That's confidence and that's experience, right? That is experience of the PMGC flying on through. What a squad. Oh, they're going to trade blows with KHK and knock either side Well, we can see that Hachong is a little bit forward on his own. He does have support from his teammates, but his teammates will look to get possibly the revive on the Hey Boy.
No, that will be the case. Nice little spot to play from. But KHK, they've got the buildings, especially at this stage. It's going to be a pretty tricky one. They're trying to be the gatekeepers of the Northern Bridge, which I said it, KHK. They got them from the very start because they dropped Northern George Pole. This is a position in which they have so much experience. They know this terrain like the back of their hand. And they're going to be heavily contested. And unfortunately, in the spot that they currently are, if we do see Water Squad take a little bit of a bigger spread, a wider spread, these angles, especially where Sully is, it's not going to make the cut. It's really not going to be enough to keep him alive. Nuke is going to try his best to crawl his way back to his team, but yeah, it's just KHK. Apparently, they got caught napping in that one, and they got heavily surprised by Water Squad. And I'm also looking out for Water Squad. What they're going to do, Nuke was able to actually make it to that rock, but yeah, it seems like he's just going to be picking up Sully, and he's just going to leave now because he knows that if they lose that car, they're dead, so they can't afford to overstep. So I like it. You know what? Sorry, Nuke, but the homies just can't stay anymore. So yeah, so far though, this has been a relatively chill game. Since the early encounters we had with the likes of Blue Bees and RXN, nothing has really happened. A lot of teams went really central, which I think makes a lot of sense. Reason why? You want to avoid moving as much as possible when you have a circle ending or a Gatka fields, especially the section between Therapy and Gatka fields. You want to get a position and avoid moving as little as possible, which is why so many teams are central, because playing edge will actually be really troublesome because, you know, you're potentially going to have to make through so many teams to get to a semi-half decent spot. So I think that how these teams are playing this game to go central early on actually makes a lot of sense with the zone that was gifted to them. We are going to be seeing more potentially contested on Super Chinky Hills. So yeah, as you said, the only teams that are going to be in trouble are the teams that are out of the circle, and now they're going to have to fight for their spots.
I think L&D are in trouble as well because yes, they can shift down to Gatka, but it's very open down the south and the southeast of Gatka, and that is going to be very hard to deal with if the next circle shifts away. That's why STP, who went to Gatka on phase 1, shifted away on phase 2, and now they benefited from a rise of glory, or rise on glory, should I say. Looking for Oni Titans, but they're going to be very close to each other.
I like it. Alpha just stopped there. Okay, I'm not welcome here. I understand. Bye-bye. You just go straight for the other compound. Though, Bosky's going to find himself a nice shot for Rubik. It does sting a little bit, but you know what? They're in a good spot. They should be good. Barely makes it in. Oh, no. Okay, I take it back. Alpha does not make it on through. Wait, so, didn't Minecraft death sound, Imperium? What's happening there?
I'm just like, another player's gone down. Oh, another player's gone down. But they will get those revives up. Keep them up as a full squad. But here's the thing. You got a full squad in one building. One building. If that gets breached upon, 2 grenades, 2 mollies, they're out of here. They're out of here. Now, they're not going to get breached upon yet because the other teams that shot at them know that there's a number of teams around. But I definitely fear for Oni Titans.
Just in case you didn't see, KHK out of the equation. 14th position, should I say. So not really much coming their way. Only 1 point will be coming out from that position. So 0 kills this game. Big, it feels bad, man. In the long run here, we saw the circle. Not many compounds remaining. I can expect throughout this phase and also the next circle upon phase 4 is going to be a lot of crashes coming out for a lot of these teams. This is basically Imperium, the calm before the storm. You know that everything's going to be breaking through in just a few minutes' time. The moment that phase 4 circle pops, especially, that's where things are going to get a little bit dangerous. Also dangerous for these guys. So if you got a good compound, you should start ready to prepare yourself for a breach because you know that it could happen at any time in this game.
I like the fact that Oni Titans are still being somewhat proactive in that building, looking for a little bit of information. Also, only one team in Chopsticks, and that's STP. Normally, we have teams that will go like 2 or 3 teams that will go towards Chopsticks. I really like the fact that it's only one. Yes, SWAT69 does have a player on, split up on the buildings that's just to the south of Chopsticks. But other than that, it's just STP there. These teams are really, really well positioned on this 5th game of the day. And it does show, again, that these teams, to be fair, they've really adapted throughout these 4 or 5 games. They've really improved, they've grown, they've evolved around each other, and there's a certain level of mutual respect and understanding on how each other play as teams, and that's why we're seeing these games with like 13 teams, 48 players alive coming into phase 4.
We do have some really big improvements. I fully agree with that statement, Imperium. I think that we've been seeing teams definitely adjust on the fly, which is I would say, the hardest thing to do. Being able to adjust over a week, a month is relatively easy as long as you know exactly what you need to work on. But being able to do it on such a short-term tournament is actually really, really hard thing to do. So it's a huge big boy respect coming out to all the guys in this lobby, as we'll be seeing how things are going to be ensuing. But there we go. The calm before the storm, as I said, the circle pops and is once again into a position further down south, I would say, where teams are going to have to now fight and push for their spots. Rubik especially, they must be very sad about that position because their circle is just barely, their position is barely out of circle, so they're going to have to push their way forward quite a bit. Water Squad and Blue Bee is going to have to clash back and forth. Aitoshan, unfortunately, the IGL are going to be out of the equation as SQX OCO trying his best behind that position, third person perspective, going to have as much information as possible. But what a squad, they just don't really know where all the players are Blue Bees. So they're like, okay, we can't turn this entire compound under our control. Going to look for the future spot ahead, but OCO going to take that spray. Severe damage. They find one of the farmer. And they're going to keep on doing Rabbit jumping out from that spot. Unfortunately, not as he should have. And he's going to be causing his demise. 2 kills going to have Blue Bees. You know what? Blue Bees sending a bad position to a really, really good opportunity. Even other kill coming there. Well to Hey Boy. He's just going to be continuing into the distance and will fall to his doom eventually. Blue Bees, I was like, there's no way they make it away. But the whales of the other squad just fallen down to nothing. So that's going to be 13th position for them. And Blue Bees, 5 kills to their name. That was a good showing despite, I got to say, a little bit of a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, definitely a doubt in my mind. But fair play to Blue Bees. Definitely a mistake from Water Squad. Let's be fair. That was not the best of pushes. Not the best of pushes at all. SCP are going past Blue Bees. We also saw LND wrapping around both Blue Bees and Water Squad previously. You know, you said about LND's position in Gatka, how it was going to be risky if phase 4 shifted away. So they definitely reacted extremely quickly to a phase 4 shift. Let's see if they can be rewarded for them. Now we see SWAT 69 pushing in, and LND already ahead of them, but SWAT 69 have a little bit more of a spread.
I do like this spread from SWAT 69 overall. I think it works exactly as it's supposed to. You're just trying to make sure you're clearing the north, clearing the south, and also the west. I think that's going to be the most central point. But man, this circle luck. They play in D&D and they just rolled a 500 on the dice there. They're feeling absolutely set for success. And cute. And now the thing is, Imperium, as we always like to say, being gifted a circle is one thing, but being able to use it is a completely different aspect of the game. You know, teams are going to be tumbling in there. So cute, they're going to have actually quite a lot on their plate throughout the next few minutes.
Yeah, they will. There's going to have a lot of targets around, and 360-degree controllers going to have to come on through. And look who's pushing in. That's going to be the one and only Morph, baby.
Morph killed Coot last game on Miramar. Are they going to do that back-to-back? What an upset that would be. That Coot are giving the keys over to Morph to snatch away that top position in the leaderboards. This is one of the best matchups you could expect in this position, because whichever team takes control of this compound, I'm going to say it, they technically win the game. So at the end of the day, this is a worthwhile fight. This is a fight that makes so much sense for Morph to take. But Coot, they're a little bit spread away from each other. Morph knows there's a team in this compound, but they just don't know exactly where they're pinned down to. Fidan taking some severe damage. Man, that Marley's been doing too much work. Gonna pop the medkit, but the second Marley is gonna cause his demise. He's gonna get cooked up to a crisp. It's barbecue time, baby. Morph picking up the kill. That's gonna be Coot down to 3 players. Break Ninja and also Astray. Can they turn the tides in their favor? That's the question to be answered.
But of course, the longer Morph leave it to really push in and secure a space in this center compound, the higher chance they're going to get third-partied, right? That's why they have taken down that one player, while the rest of Coot are going to be on the other side of that compound. I don't mind the spread of Coot, but maybe a little bit more of a 2-2 rather than 1-1-1-1. That was maybe a little bit of a mistake, but either way, they'll be happy that they're still happy that they're going to have a central circle inside a central position inside the circle.
Need 12 points from Morph, and they will be potentially ahead of Coot. That's what we need. But Coot, for that to happen, they need to get very minimal amount of points themselves. They're talking about that. They're going to be actually fragging out on the way. Oh, they're going to get as many frags as possible. OPMF Venom eliminated by Coot. Astray doing God's work in that one, and that's going to be increasing that gap between the side of Morph and also Coot. So that is actually going to be some super worthwhile kills that might have the long and impact you might expect throughout the entirety of this lobby. The Circle Shifts once again on top of the compound, but we are going to be seeing actually a pretty good position coming out from Rise on Glory, maybe hoping to get a sneaky third party on the side of Coot.
And I will say only Titans have generally stayed alive considering how risky of a position they were in previously. Broom, I believe, pushed in and took down LND on a side note. SWAT 69 has stayed alive. We've 8 teams left, 26 players. With that circle shift into the east, like you said, Rise on Glory could have a very cheeky chicken dinner on their hands.
Titans only and also BTR, they're just going to be waiting their best to maybe go for a sneaky third party, if possible, into the compound. But right now, Rubik is going to be the pebble in their shoe. Well, okay, I take it back. Not anymore. They're dead. There you go. That's the caster curse into action. They tried their best to take that fight, but unfortunately, that is just not going to be it. And Rubik dying out is going to be actually creating such a good opportunity for not only for the side of Morph to maybe get ahead, but also to create a huge difference in points between first, second, and third. So that is actually going to be huge for them. Only 2 kills for Morph so far, still holding on strong. But you can see down into the southern side. Boom, he said it. They're going to be coming in a little bit stronger here, taking more control into the field. If the circle goes south, this might just be a Boom chicken dinner.
This is a surprisingly passive Coot. To be fair, that's a surprisingly passive Coot. Oh. Look at a low ball grenade being cooked up by Zabra. Oh my lord, that is beautiful. Oh, a little bit undercooked. A little bit undercooked.
Gordon Ramsay is going to be saying it's raw. How dare you? That's not going to be working out for them. But Morph's still able to push them out of position for a fair bit. Now we're going to be looking at it. Rise on Glory. And their best to zone as much as possible down to the southeast. Nade onto Boom. This could be actually insane. Nico, show me what you can do. Cook properly. Going the right way. Did he just kill his teammate? I think he did. You know what? Well,
yes, he did.
I'm sorry, broski, but it's a game. It happens. It's cool. Hopefully no remorse there. We were still able to feed some valuable information. And during that time, Boom, unfortunately, pinning that location. The circle goes back towards the compound, back towards Coot. What is happening? I think I've never seen such a good circle look. Back to back to back to back. 4 games in a row. Well, not 4 games in a row. 4 circles in a row. And they're just going to be holding on strong. But SWAT 69 also going to try their best to get involved.
Yeah, I was just going to say, SWAT 69 could have this because they have more of an eastern position in circle. And plus with Morph focusing on Coot, they might not be aware of SWAT 69. However, that's also giving space for Boom and Rise on Glory to possibly encroach into the edge of the circle on the western side. 6 teams left, max 14 players.
Ah, man. Only Titans started to take some shots, but unfortunately the blue zone took him down, so that's only Titans out of the entire picture. And now we're going to be seeing Morph once again trying to be proactive. They're trying to be aggressive, trying to push teams away from this compound. They see the smokes and they're going to be spraying on down. Going to find as many kills as possible along the way. So I've got to say, Morph, they know that every single kill is going to be important for them to try and snatch away the spot away from Coot. Shots come out.
Beautiful.
How does he connect those through the smoke? Stellar performance from Morph. Zabrov's got to be careful, extremely low. Able to barely keep himself on his 2 feet. But Coot, once again, this is the circle actually going to be pushing the compound away, potentially in a big way. So they need to slowly try and regroup and Boom into the blue, trying their best to move their way forward. Rise on Glory are out, so are going to be Boom. Down to now top 3 teams. And SWAT 69, you got to keep that in mind. They might be doing some big plays to finish off this game with a third party, but Morph keep on going. Down to 2. It's going to be Summer and Taka. Summer top fragger last game. They get it. They clear them out. Good. This is insane. Because of this alone, this might be the reason why Morph stand on strong in that number 1 position. But SWAT 69 have yet to third party Imperium. This was the perfect time to do so.
Oh my lord, we saw the 2 chicken dinners from Coot. This could be the back-to-back for Morph, and that could put them in the firing line to overtake Coot in the overall standings. But that's going to be SWAT 69 coming out on top, and they take down Morph.
There you go, SWAT 69. We wanted to see a little bit more representation from the boys, and it comes out in style. SWAT 69 from Oman. And they were, overall, before that game, not in the most comfortable of positions, I would rightly say. And this is exactly the type of performance you want to see coming out from these guys to get themselves in a relatively strong spot. They were dead last, 16th. This is one leap for sure. Can't wait to see what Sam has to say about this one, because this was an absolutely mental game to see.
Well. Imperium, I'm going to give you an opportunity now. You made a comment that could not be caught. Are we still standing on that?
Yes, because at the end of the day, Coot still got 3rd with just 10 points and 4 kills. That's 14 points compared to Morph, who, to be fair, got 14 points and I think 6 kills. That's going to be 20. Is it going to shrink the gap? Yes, of course. But I'm standing tall on my call, and Coot are going to breeze through on the final game of Vikendi. I do have to respect Morph, though. They are putting up such a massive fight, and if they had won that game, it probably would have tipped them ahead of Coot coming into the final game. But yeah, at the end of the day, still a massive result for Morph.
I do like how you had to flex your mathematics on Max and I. We'll take it. We'll take it. Let's talk about that game now, though. There were so many good teams in that final circle in really good positions. I personally loved that circle because I think it set up the best of the best to battle it out, Max.
I think it was the circle that was forcing so many teams to have to breach it, but unfortunately the teams are just taking themselves out on their own on the side, and it just made it so much easier for Morph and also Kuda. Just, well, they're all killing themselves. Well, we're just going to stay here and just make sure that we remain in top 3. And the moment they knew that they were going to be in the few remaining teams, that's when Morph were trying to pull the trigger. If they pull the trigger earlier and they died, that was just going to be another big leapfrog forward coming out from Coot. So I think that overall, the timing of that fight made a lot of sense, and Morph came out on top. So the timing was on point. Everything was really good on the execution. And at the end, unfortunately for them, SWAT 69 was there. I did think they were going to push a little bit sooner, but SWAT 69, good calling from them. They did not allow the reses to come on through from Morph. And because of that, they secured themselves a win. And you also mentioned it earlier, Sam, that every single one of these teams have been showing some really strong performances from time to time. And there you go. That's the one big performance of SWAT 69. The third party in, absolutely on point in terms of timing.
What I really enjoyed about this map, though, and you can actually see it in the match summary now, is that so many teams started popping off. So as much as we're talking a lot about Morph and Coot and the battle for first place, we've seen all these other teams start performing. I mean, when you look at those match summaries, look at all those different names popping up, being able to claim some top spots. So Max, this is, again, it's really exciting for these teams, but for a lot of them now, it's going to be maybe thinking we're not going to possibly be able to take that first spot, but we do want to do the best possible performance we can on Vikendi to make sure we're remembered. Do you think that's going to be the case?
I think it's definitely a good thing to do. Try and have a longer impression on the viewers and also potential people that want to try and pick up the team into the future, because PUBG Mobile is growing by the week, by the month, by the year. It keeps on growing as a scene, so you're going to have a lot more orgs that want to get involved. And I think that these are great opportunities to show what you're made of, show what you can bring to the table in the PUBG Mobile eSport ecosystem. So I think that overall we are going to be seeing, as you said here, also a few teams that we didn't see too much of showing up, and in many big ways, especially SWAT 69. As I was talking with Imperium earlier, we casted they've forever, and they've really proven to us many times that they were an extremely talented teams. And with this game, they proved it once again. Sure, it might not be enough to make it to that top side of the tables, but it's still a statement in my eyes that they still have that little pizzazz to make it further on.
We're going to be moving to another map now. It will be the final map. We'll have a chance to see all these teams play for the last time. We thought it would be a runaway victory from one of the teams, but it would seem now that the points are a little bit closer. So I do have an update, and I'm sure we'll be able to put it on your screen a little later as well. The gap between third and second is pretty big here. So Rubik and Morph now. Rubik's sitting on 58 points. Morph is on 87. That's going to be really difficult to close. And then if you take a look there, look at that gap, less than 10 points between first and second Imperium. I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you sticking with this? Are you going to stick with Coots being able to run away with this one?
Yes. 1,000 times yes. 1,000,000 times yes.
I'm going to take a quick break from talking about the teams, talking about that final map, just to pull your attention to that incredible virtual studio that we have. Well, we couldn't get everyone to Istanbul. We get to explore it. And don't forget, when the games are finished, go check out that website. You can do a virtual tour and find some incredible, iconic locations that you can explore. But now it is time for us to move into the final game. Who do you think is going to take it? Is it going to be Coot? Is it going to be Morph? Spam those teams you support in chat. Let's get hyped, because at the end of this game, we will have a World Finals winner. Max, Imperium, let's jump down onto Vikendi.
Thank you very much, Sam. And indeed, Vikendi, man, it's been so long, Imperium. It's been so long. It's your favorite map. It's my favorite map. And for a reason, we like snow. We like that's. I think that's the main reason why I like snow quite a bit. I like going sledge and everything. It's pretty fun.
When it comes to Vikendi, in the past, we tend to have games that will be a little bit polar opposite of each other. Sometimes we can have a game that is like super duper passive based on what you said of you find a compound, you stick to it. John and Blank, they call it Vikendi, right? Because it can just be so quiet early game. But I've often experienced Vikendi games where, considering the amount of compounds, small, medium, large are, we can have 5-6 teams eliminated in the first 7 to 10 minutes.
Could be the case. I think this is going to be an extremely interesting game at the end of the day.
It is so exciting what's going to go down. Battle for first is between 2 teams. That's it. Like that's it. 2 teams battling for first. We can talk about the fact that there's 23 points dividing 4th and 15th, and fair play to those teams, but at the end of the day, we're here to crown a world champion in the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3. We're here to find out who is the best of the best in this series, in this tournament, and that's where the focus is going to be and where it should be.
And in the finishing moments, we're going to be rechecking our virtual studio. Absolute bang of a place to be with the particle effects. Looks absolutely bang. And there we go. The plane is high in the sky. Another 8. Wait, so if you want to go to Vikendi, you have to pass through Istanbul? That's very interesting. I didn't know that was on the path. You know what? Seemed like the world map is a lot different than what I was initially expecting. But you know what? Match number 6. Match number 6 is now going to be on the board. And here we go. Vikendi! The snowy map of my dreams is back into play. I feel so good, man. It's been so long. It's been so long.
It's good to see you, my old friend Vikendi. It's been a while since I've casted with you, Maxman. It's been a hell of a long time since I've casted Vikendi, and it's good to be back. What is the key thing, Max, of Vikendi? What is the key thing that separates Vikendi?
Well, the thing is about compounds, especially as we mentioned it during the prelude to this game. You take a compound and you stick to it for a major portion of the game, and it means that your loot can actually be very scarce, very minimal, and unfortunately not able to make up for it. And if you do, you're taking some more risk. So compounds are the key factor when it comes down to it. Of course, they're key for every single map, but Vikendi, the entire playstyle and rotational playstyle works around your compounds. Do you stick to it, or do you take a risk?
You're right, but you also missed my actual answer that I wanted. Water circle.
Oh, water
circle.
Yeah.
Phase 1. It's about 35%, 40% water up on the north. Vikendi, I miss you with your water circles.
There's already so much landmass taken away from the Phase 1 circle that teams are going to regroup a lot quicker once they decide to kick their rotations under gear. So because of that, you could be expecting some early encounters in literally the next 3 to 5 minutes.
It really puts pressure on the coal mine area.
Oh, this
STP. Gonna catch out Coot.
Yeah, Astray's gonna be there. I think he heard it. He definitely heard it. There's no way. Kudo fully prepared for this one. Gonna get pushed up. STP relatively split though, 2-2. So if they regroup completely, yeah, they definitely hear the cars. They know they're gonna be in that spot. Coot. And I'm gonna move away, which shows that they're trying to get an advantage by getting kills. And there you go. Break initiating good onto Kinney. Looking for more. He's going to try and flush that kill. They're overstepping a little bit. Well, could we get... Whoa. Okay. What a nice shot from Vida. And thanks to that, he's going to keep Break alive. And that's 2 kills. And that's what we said, Imperium. Now, Morph, they see that into the kill feed. Like, okay, they got 2 kills. We must get 4. That's going to be starting to put a little bit of pressure onto their side. And I don't want these games to end. I got to do also... well, 2 reasons why I don't want these games to end. Number 1, because these are pretty epic games. And at the end of this one, we're not going to be seeing these teams anymore for this M.E.O. We're going to have the champion. But also because I got to do my laundry after this. So I definitely do not want to go. That's 2 good reasons for me to stay here. Unless Imperium wants to do the laundry. Do you want to do it for me? Oh, no, you're not.
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good, mate.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, thanks for sorry, dude.
I could have had my personal made Imperium. Oh, dude, I'll take you on that one. I'll have some potatoes from Ireland.
I'll cook Sam dinner as well. I'll cook Sam dinner as well.
You also be involved. There you go.
Yeah.
The rotation coming on through from OPMF. They're gonna be looking. Oh, they have no idea what they just walked into. They have no clue. They are being rather cautious, so I do like the fact that they are. Oh, they're okay. They're okay. They know. Oh, that's a good nade. Bonk. There you go. Nice little bounce. Playing a game of Squatch, and Gushi's gonna go down. Second nade gonna be.
Wow.
turning the tides heavily, and now it's going to be 3 players still up, down to now 2. B2R, they're just crumbling down to pieces. This is looking so easy. They're smurfing. OPMF, they're just absolutely dominating this compound breach. This has been the cleanest one we've seen today so far. Suffering no casualty, and not even no casualty, 0 damage along the way. Scooter left alone. A grenade. Did he just miss that grenade against the wall? I think he did for a second there, but you know what? Oh, there was a smoke actually, but yeah, didn't go really where he was expecting it to. And now he ushas to control these staircases, gets himself one knockdown. That's big, but he can't go for the flush, and he knows he's got to go back into the room, reload from there, and go for round number 2. He's getting cornered. These can't move away from this spot whatsoever. They're going to go for the push. Picks up one potentially. It's just too much in that position. Unfortunately, you just enclose yourself and make it so easy to get pushed upon. And OPMF, what a breach. That was so clean on so many different aspects.
So clean, and that's also feels bad, man, for B2R, because they were in 6th on 41 points, only 3 points behind SWAT 69. So that's going to end their journey here in the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3 World Finals. But it was an absolute pleasure, of course, to cast you guys representing Sri Lanka massively, and a deserving opportunity for them. For OPMF, they'll be happy with that squad wipe. It's going to give them 4 extra points, and of course push them forward coming into phase number 2.
And not only that, we talked about Q picking up those 2 kills, which already is going to put a little bit of pressure onto the side of Morph, but they are also basically center circle. They are in such a good position. They do not have to move whatsoever. They're going to wait for phase 2, and because there's so much water up north, you could expect them to be to the circle for the remainder of 3 to 4 phases. They will literally not have to move. So this is actually such a good setup because they can't afford to die early. And because of where they are now, you know, for straight up fact, the odds of them dying early are so slim. So I got to say, they are set up for success. And for seeing how things are right now, I don't think Morph can contest it. And the thing is, Morph, this is going to be such a hard one for them to actually deal with. Talking about the circle, as I said, is going to be shifting. They should still be in there pretty heavily. They're going to be popping, and there you go.
Nice.
Very similar. Takes a little bit of landmass away and a little bit of water away, but the point is that you're still going to be seeing them extremely central in this second phase.
But I do think Morph are in a better position than Coot right now, because Morph have a much better exit potential on phase 3, phase 4 right now, whereas Coot, they're kind of very heavily pinched on the north, around 4 teams, and that's not going to be easy to deal with should they have to disengage.
It's true, actually. I really agree with your point there, Imperium. The overall Morph here, they have a lot better exit potential if the circle tends to shift in a bad spot for them, which could be the case. They're over to the west, so if it goes over to the south or if it goes over to the east, things could end up being a little bit tricky for sure. But yeah, that's actually a really good point. So it's going to be depending to the circle and how Morph is going to be responding to it. Yeah. So we'll see, as we're slowly going to be making our way to phase 3 in the next 45 seconds. Bluebees delayed their rotation. Same for also What a Squad. SWAT 69 also delayed their rotation. They're next to Cosmodrome currently. They're going to have to cross over the bridge, which I got to say, delaying a rotation like that from SWAT 69 is not the best. I think that there was different pathing they could have played around, but when you're forcing yourself into a position where if the circle keeps going to the west, they're going to be forced to cross a bridge. And in PUBG Mobile, the worst thing is when you're forced to do something because you become predictable and you're going to have so many teams next to that bridge line that could be easily gatekeeping you and scouting you away. So I think that SWAT 69, not the best decision making, but they're going to have to commit anyways. It's too late to go back.
Totally agree. This is the Vikendi strategy that we all know and love. Get to a compound, stick in that compound, play on the roofs of that compound. For Morph, I would like to see them send a bit of a scout further in towards the eastern side of the circle just to maybe get a little bit of information. I understand why they're reluctant to, because losing a player automatically makes it an uphill battle. You know, getting caught out, it's just not going to be easy to deal with. But in my eyes, they low-key have nothing to lose, so why not take that little bit of risk?
So for those who are maybe not too familiar with Vikendi, this is what we call Vikendi time, where not much happens.
Yes.
This is usually the time where I would do anime jokes. Imperium is like, I did not understand. I'm like, haha, boomer. That is usually how we go about this kind of early game time. But there you go. We're just going to be waiting for the circle, and that's where things are going to get a little bit more dicey. Yes, Imperium.
What do you want for dinner, Max?
We're gonna get April when you come back. Oh man, we're gonna. Hey, fair enough, man. I'll take it, man. If you cook me one good chicken dinner, I'll be feeling good about that one for sure.
No problem.
Give me some.
No problem.
We're gonna be yeah. But anyways, as I said, this is still the very relaxed time. Usually, the real big action starts to unfold towards phase 3, especially if there's a lot of water to play with. There is some still. Or phase 4 is going to be where things are really going to get interesting. As I said, the really weird spot is going to be for spot 69. They're on that small amount of terrain towards Cosmodrome. Unless some of the biggest hardships come back to back to back, and they'll be okay. But even then, they're going to have to commit to cross over the bridge, which a lot of teams are fully prepared for that to happen.
So Morph did go for that kind of player pushing in a little bit away from their teammate's position. He got knocked, but it's not too far away where he could hopefully get revived. Coot had picked up another knock onto Rise of Glory. Oh, Morph is going to have another player knocked down at the hands of Respect. RXM Pakistan looking to end Morph's journey in the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3 Finals.
Especially when it's Summer. Summer's one of the top fraggers in that Miramar game. You can't afford to let him go down early, though. Taka, he's going to be making up for it. There you go. He's going to be the backing line for the team. Slowly, seem like the opposing squad is just not going to fully commit to it, which is big for them, though. Morph, can you get everyone rezzed up? You got already Zabrol. That's going to be good. He's going to be back into play with his competitive experience. Taka, though, a little bit too far out of position. That tree's not going to be enough. They need to push on forward. Zabrol into the car with his teammate. Going to go for a 2-man push. Can they make anything out of it? Oh, I'm stressed out, man. This is close.
That 2-piece by Taka was literally game changer. Game changer, fight saver for Morph.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is not looking good. They're behind the car. They're so predictable. And seem like we're going to be having a little bit of a upper hill battle, though, over to the other side of the map. We're going to have another fight. Once again, OPMF, Venom, going to be taking another fight for themselves. It's going to be versus Bluebees. Going to teach them a lesson. We'll keep an eye out for the kill feed to make sure we can track what's happening currently with Morph. Things seem like our little on the standstill, though. Coop picking up another kill. Yeah. So they are going to be increasing that lead significantly. I think we're now at a 11, 12-point lead. Increase from 8, 11. Basically, at the very start. So, yeah, we're around that point. So they are looking overall set for success. It's going to be requiring a big, big game for Morph if they want to turn the tides in their favor. As STP do get taken out of the lobby in 14th overall. But they go Morph in the kill feed. We talked about it. Popping off versus RXN. That's going to be 1 to 2 kills actually going in their pockets. As they're going to be looking to increase it. They know they need to match and actually go even further and beyond than what has been done so far for Coot. So they know that they can't allow RXN to leave this spot. They need these kills desperately. So they're going to be looking for the engage. But we did see Summer get confirmed, which was one of the top fraggers. So that's a big loss for them.
3v2. Morph against our man. Against RXN Pakistan. Morph, this is you need to join up. You need to send your third player up. I know the risk is there, but you got to play that bait. Make that bait. If you have a vehicle, make that bait. Indeed, that's the case. He's going to get in the vehicle. He's going to look to join up. Take advantage of that man advantage.
The thing is this fight even worth taking in the first place? Like, you edge a circle, and you're not going to be inside the circle up on this next one. So, or you leave the scene entirely and you do it quickly, even though I'm pretty sure that RXN, they got nothing to lose. And the thing is, when you're in a position like this, they're going to try and chase down for kills and get points. Points equal prizes in a world of PUBG. So they're going to try their very best. Blue, that just your DBS finish at the end there. I mean, you tried, but you know what? That's going to be OPMF Venom taking himself a big fat L. Bluebees feeling good about that one. They've been able to improve throughout these 6 games today. So big heads up to them. I think that they have been increasing their playstyle pretty heavily in terms of aggressiveness, which I did think they were lacking in the PMGC. And despite the roster changes, you know what? I'm happy with where Bluebees are here.
So am I. So am I. But the focus has to be on Morph and their fight to stay in the running for first place, trying to chase down Coot. They have gotten 2 kills so far. They have gotten 2 kills. But getting rid of RXM Pakistan will really help them, not only in terms of control, freedom to move into a circle, but 2 more kills will put them on 4 in total and decrease that deficit, decrease that lead, should I say, that Coot have over them.
That's going to be the name of the game for them. 3 kills. There we go. Got it confirmed for Coot. We know that's going to be the case. So potentially going to be looking for just a little extra. 6 or 4 kills would be relatively good. for Morph. But yeah, RXN, oh, surprising, actually, going to be abandoning ship entirely. And where they are currently standing in the overall leaderboard, they're dead last. But they seem like they are keeping the dream alive, doing very similar to what SWAT 69 did last game, from 16th to 5th. And we were maybe expecting a few of these teams to just go. Literally, the definition of that was going to be YOLO. But no, they're taking just a step back and they're taking this one extremely seriously, which I got to say, I fully respect coming out from RXN. But
big time.
Unfortunately for them, Morph, they just let 2 kills slip away off their grasp, which those 2 kills could have been the difference between first and second.
But they didn't lose any more players, right? They're still up as a 3-person team. So, you make a really good point, but I would still say that's an overall net win for Morph, getting 2 kills, only losing 1 player. But now they're still on the edge of the circle. Where is it going to shift? That's tough.
I like it. This is going to be forcing both Coot and also Morph to fight for their spot. It's not going to be a given like it was last game where it falls right on top of Coot and Morph had to push on forward. Now they're both going to have to fight for position. So I like this. This is going to be a little bit of a battle of a little test for these 2 teams to see who's going to be better on those. But this circle is already so concentrated in teams and players that is this still going to be an opportunity for Morph and Coot to get into that spot without fighting? My answer is going to be there, Imperium. No. They're going to have to get involved in some way, shape, or form aggressively to actually get himself a good spot. Okay, no, I'll take that one back. Actually, there's one compound that just got liberated for Coot, so they're going to go in golden. That's perfect timing for them. But if that was a little bit too early, that would have actually forced them into a relatively big fight.
And Coal Mine Hill is quite tricky to play around because as a number of little levels, it kind of reminds me of Prison Hill a little bit, where there's there's always a higher elevated position. So that's definitely going to be tricky to deal with. If I'm not mistaken, KHK being put down to 1 player at the hands of RX and Pakistan. Good for RX and Pakistan. Fortunately bad for KHK. The South African representatives, what Boom, are getting pushed upon by the one and only. What a show.
Pombit going to be left alone. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be surrounded by teams. Maybe giving it his best shot. Okay, he does have the Thompson. That's a lot of bullets in that ammo.
Nice.
In that clip. So he's going to be able to maybe potentially make up for that Mantis advantage in the 1v4. We're looking for a second. We'll see if he can make it work out. Hey, maybe going to be clearing out the entirety of Coal Mine. That'll be huge. Looking for the second. He gets 1v3. No way, Pombit. What was that?
Boom.
Absolutely disgusting. And Boom, going to get back as a 2-man crew. That is what we love to see. Clutches happening on Vikendi. Hey, I don't have them too often, but when they do, man, those are bangers right there.
Boom, boom. Let me say AO. AO. Because that was a beautiful, beautiful 3-piece from Boom. And also keeps them in the running to get 3rd overall, Max. Because they were only 8 points behind Rubik's. So there's extra kills. That's survival. That's really healthy for them.
It's going to be helping them out a lot in the long run. Coot now up to 5. Seem like that lead is just increasing by the minute. Things aren't looking too good. There you go. Circle back to the shit. And actually goes pretty nice to Morph. Okay, Morph, this is potentially a big gamble. I'm saying this is maybe not the play to go for. If you see this compound from Blue Bees, maybe it's worth breaching. I'm going to say you get kills off of it and a strong position. It's kind of a do or die because they're delaying it a lot. And Coot just keep on winning more and more space on the top of the leaderboards. So that would be a play that I think wouldn't be bad for Morph, but you can see Morph and Coot, they're getting slowly closer to each other. Things could start to get a little bit dicey from here on out.
And finally, they got the fight onto Arcs and they took them down, but now they have to enter into the circle, and indeed they can focus on it. For Coot, they have to push in. They have to push into a team on a compound, so by no means is it super fine and dandy for Coot. Yeah, they have a full squad, but it's SWAT 69 that is in front of them, and it's not going to be easy for them to deal with.
Is going to get a little bit tricky. There you go. Rise on Glory also eliminated. 10th position, finally down to a single-digit team count. That's going to be 9. There's 27 players still up and running about. So not a lot of full teams still remaining in this one, very unfortunately for a lot of these teams in the lobby. We'll have to see. But Cute, they're forcing themselves forward towards another team once more. And this time is going to be Rubik. So Rubik, let's not forget, as of right now, still 3rd position team. Not really relatively close to deny that 1st position, but still in the running whatsoever. Rubik, always, that's a big kill onto Ninja. If they die here, this might just be the golden opportunity that Morph needed from the very start of this game on Vikendi. There's another one coming on through. That's going to be a huge molly from Bosku, and they're teaching them a lesson. Don't get close to our compound. This is ours to defend. Break and Astra, how do you play after this one? He does get the res onto Ninja. That's huge. back to a 3-man squad, but they're still on edge of circle. So this is not going to be a really big long-term, at least playstyle coming out from them.
But the important thing is they're on the edge of circle. They're on the edge of circle. They're inside the circle for now. Morph, on the other hand, they do have a couple of players more heavily inside the circle. We do lose a player of Coot, so they're down to 3.
They're going to be trying their best on this one. They're going to have to take a big fight. Hopefully, things are going to be looking good for them, but Morph have been proactive. Haven't fully crashed onto the compound of Bluebees as I did suggest. No. They went halfway, which, you know what, is okay. As long as they're not taking that fight fully head on, and they find themselves a good spot to fight from, especially, that's the important part in my eyes. Oh, there you go. Coot still going to be looking good. As you said, Imperium still up as a 3-man. 7 kills especially. Also, that's going to be relatively big. KHK eliminated in this game. Swat69 Sanji going to be doing some work on that rock. Is he going to go for a nice little jump shot to finish it off? That'll be huge. But I would say if you drop down there, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So I would just say play with your utility. There's no easy way out for early Titans. They only got one way out, and they've got to wrap around. So Sanji, just hold that angle, and you're basically golden. That's almost 3 free kills.
Especially when he's got his teammate on the other side, so he wants to be in a position where his teammate is going to be able to cover him. So you're dead right. You go down the hill. You ain't coming back, my friend. You ain't coming back. Coot have been able to push in, but they haven't taken out Rubik. They have not taken him out, and that means that they could still get backstab coming in to phase 7 closing in and phase 8 showing up.
They're going to try his best to push it, looking for the angle with the AKM. He's going to be able to get it, though. The smokes are going to be making it a little bit hard to really pin them down. Nade from Ninja. Looks like a pretty good pathing. Doesn't get too much done, though, unfortunately. There you go, break, finally to the kill feed. Onto Morph. Zabral taken down, knocked away. And they see, they saw that in the kill feed, and you can see instant change of pacing and play style from Coot. Like, okay, we know where Morph are. We need to chase it on down there. Just enough time to go for the res. And Morph between a rock and a hard place, especially between Coot and the Bluebees. They are not looking comfortable whatsoever. They're in that shack. Gonna go for the shot. Ninja, that is absolutely beautiful. And also with a nade of 8-chan, that's gonna put the nail in the coffin. That is gonna be potentially it for Morph. They still got one player, but the odds just drastically tilted in favor of Coot.
Coot are feeling strong. They can smell the end. They can see the victory of the Red Bull M.E.O. Season 3 finals. They're being helped by Bluebees, but Bluebees are still in front of them, gatekeeping them. Bluebees, they could claim this chicken dinner in Vikendi. They could end on a massively high note as 8-chan gets knocked out by Hidan.
This is the chance for the final play of Morph to maybe backstab. They're pushing. They're taking a head-on fight with Bluebees. So this is time to actually go for it and snatch a few kills along the way, if possible, and potentially even kill Count, I would say. Close one, 0. How the hell does that work? I have no idea. Count actually out of the entire game, eliminated in 7th position. That's still a bang of a performance. They can be proud of that one.
Morph.
Attacker's still up. He's still got 4. That's not going to be enough. He can't make it out of the blue zone. He's going to die. It's only phase 8. That's over. This should be actually the entire event going the way of Coot.
And there's still 6 teams. There's still 12 players. It's not going to be enough indeed because Coot got a number of kills. I know Morph got a bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. However, we'll have to find out in due time. This game is still going on. It's still going on. Bluebees are up as a full squad.
Taka might just be able to actually loot all the boxes from the fallen teammates who are in front of him and actually get himself a few first aids and just snake his way forward. It's going to be down to the wire. It's going to be a really close strat. No, there you go. It was a one opportunity, but seemed like there was not going to be enough for him and not enough time, especially upon phase 8, and he will fall on down. We pretty much know already he's going to be the victor of this one, but we still got one banger of a game ahead of us. And Bluebees, we said it, they've been improving throughout all of today. It's still up as a 4-man squad. They take down Rubik, the 3rd place position team. And they're going to keep on gaming on this one, down to top 3. And Bluebees, sure, it's a little bit late to show up to the party, but you know what? I'm still going to give you a huge chunker of respect. That is one way to close off this M.E.O. for sure. Now there's down to the wire. 3v2 v1, and they're taking full control. The spread is clean. They got high ground, they got low ground, they got everything in their arsenal to secure and close off this game with 10 kills a minimum, by the way. Imperium, this is Japan at its finest.
Japan are looking good. Bluebees are looking good, but it's going to be a knockdown onto XQ, but only Titans, the Pakistan representative, looking to end on another high note themselves, but Hasni is going to get taken out. Bluebees taking advantage of that roof play, and now it's just one player, Boom, left on his own.
Yeah, and he's going to go down. He's just going to have to try and do a battle of healing, as we usually do in those final moments. But Blue Bees will be your victor. And up as a 4-man crew, the reason why they were just able to take themselves big fights is because they reduced their amount of rotations to a bare minimum. They didn't move since they went to the western side of phase 1. They barely moved of the entire game. And that's the reason why they are going to be in a good spot, because they got all of their loot in one good package, and they are able to take the... Wait a minute. 16 first aids and 30 bandages. You good, man? You good? Okay, he's not going to die for a minute, Imperium. We got a few. Oh, no, okay, no, I take that one back. It's going to get pushed upon, and he will eventually die. Blue Bees finally secure themselves their very first win over here for the finals of the M.E.O.
What a massively good fight that Morph put in, right? Considering the lead Cood had after 3 games. I put my name on the line. I put my words on the line, and you know what? Morph tested it massively, getting 2 insane results in a row to bring it down to the final game in Vikendi.
Here we are, the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3 World Finals East PUBG Mobile winners. We're in our fantastic online studio, and now we get to celebrate. It has been this incredible journey, the consistency, the incredible gameplay that we saw from each and every one of these teams. I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Not one team looked out of their league. A great representation for PUBG Mobile around the world, showing the level of player that we're seeing, Max. And just exciting now for the future, because imagine Season 4 when we can be in the physical venue with all these players when they're on LAN. Imagine what we can expect from each and every one of them.
Yeah, we're very slowly going to be sneaking our way back to lands, hopefully soon enough, as soon as possible. That'll be great. So imagine these kind of locations, these kind of studios, but not virtual, but being actual real, going to be up there, as we've got finally the logos of the winners appearing on the screen. And that is one HD firework for sure. That is going to be Coot on top of the world, on top of the mountain, as they take the title of champions of the M.E.O Season 3 for PUBG Mobile.
We get to celebrate. Coot is your World Finals East winners. But Imperium, we're coming back next week for some action because we've got the West Grand Finals coming up. Looking forward to that?
Oh, yeah. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to cast the Western teams. Of course, a little bit more familiar with some of the teams that are going to be playing in the Western Finals. So it's going to be very exciting.
It is going to be exciting, and we are going to leave you at that. Thank you so much, Max and Imperium, for keeping us going throughout these 6 games. I cannot wait for next week when we do it all over again with the West teams. Thank you so much to everyone watching at home, and of course, behind the scenes. This virtual studio is not an easy thing to create, and it's an amazing opportunity for the players to feel like they are actually in Istanbul. So thank you to the team. And of course, most importantly, thank you to the players for giving us such incredible stories to tell. You've got 1 week, and then we're back here, same time, same place, for the season finals for West for the Red Bull M.E.O Season 3. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.